Okay. Yeah, roll a dice. Hi, everybody. You get to enjoy the lovely sound of me unpacking my dice bag. Ha! Because I was about to do that, but Lucky, you said you are tracking down what you did with your EXP.
Mm-hmm.
Which is always fun, because it's been a little bit of time here. I actually got through all the backlog. All the episodes that are recorded are posted now.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that. Up to 16.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this will be recording 17. What am I doing with dice? Yes, we were a little busy with stuff and things, so...
Let's see here.
You guys got a decent amount of EXP last time.
Whoop. Yeah, we got like 700, I think it was.
Let's
no, I
see
think you
here.
saved like 700. It's probably like 4 or 500.
Yeah, it was 400 that we got.
Oh, I must have been 6.
Session 15 was 300, so 700 total between those two.
Yeah, you probably just...
Oh, yeah, I probably didn't buy anything for the session before that because we didn't actually...
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't buy anything until, like, session 16. And session 15 was the one where we hunted down the elephant.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Then session 16, we did the Prophet Miss plus the Boxing Day invasion.
We are such bad people.
You'll get yours. That's what you should be worried about.
Yes. Next stall holiday.
By the way,
I mean, New Year's is coming around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about
Alright,
New Year's.
New Year's thing.
Don't worry about New Year's. By the way, audience, if you're tuning in, if you want some subtle bed music, we can't do that because we post videos on YouTube and somebody will get mad at us. Trust us, we know from experience, the Japanese get very bothered when you try and use their stuff. But the Sanya of Taga the Evil OST for the anime is like an hour, so just pull that up in full on YouTube and just let that run in the background. That's pretty appropriate.
Oh yeah, by the way, my friend did say...
I have not found the other one. There it is. Always...
Yeah, I did reserve tickets. I'm gonna go see that fucking movie. I'm gonna come home and be like, we gotta play like fucking Mages of War right now.
Why is it always I can't find my last D10 until I literally empty out the bag? They go in the top every time. When I put them back. How do they always go in the bottom? It's like fucking sucks. Alright, so you guys have your EXPs. We probably... Some of you may have said what you were planning on spending some stuff on, but it's been like 2 weeks since you recorded, so...
Well, I'm pretty sure I was gonna just buy like all a bunch of metal spells, but I changed my mind. I still picked up Quicksilver because I've been wanting that. I've been eyeing it, and I also picked up Light Feet from the reinforcement tree.
Yeah, as for me, I picked up Earthquake. That's the only thing I picked up. Then for my companion, what did I pick up for him? Oh yeah, I picked up Strong Back plus Hard to Kill.
So I still have like 300 experience floating around, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to buy what I want to buy with it.
Yeah, so Raphael has 24 wounds that he can take before he gets knocked out or killed.
That's pretty good.
I should probably do that for my companion too. I'm still a little like, ooh, from her getting set on magical black chemical fire.
Alright.
Ugh. But because I have 300 experience, and I was thinking of just buying one of the 300 officer talents, because these are pretty fucking hoopty. I mean, we have like just starting at 300, we have Don't Die on Me. I get like 20% on all medications to play. Like that one's just for me, so I didn't really care about it. The heavy weapon drop, we can just call in a fucking a heavy weapon just whenever. It's just like what? Pain is just weakness in the body. That one needs to do a hardship. I don't have that one. Like, well, I'm just gonna cut it down. Like, the 3 I was thinking about is rapid recovery, which is basically anyone who is injured during a mission who's under my command basically recovers twice as many wounds per day while healing naturally after the mission. So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. Then I saw like Vulture. All soldiers in the command get plus 10 on search enemies or locations for items. At the end of the mission, all soldiers scavenging number of MC equal to my leadership modifier automatically. And I was all like, I like stuff. And then there's the one underneath that, wet work. All soldiers under your command within your leadership modifiers and meters do +2 damage on all attacks. I'm all like, I don't know if that one, like, I like that because +2 damage means that's +2 closer to them not hitting me. But I just look at the name of it, I'm like, wet work. I'm like, it seems a bit aggressive.
Right.
So, I don't know. I was also looking at some spells because I haven't been messing with the sensory tree at all. So I was thinking maybe I want to get telepathy so I can scream in people's heads.
Well, that's probably a good idea if you want to get something across without alerting the enemy.
Well, he also has a companion as a radio man, so
yeah,
that's
right.
But actually,
that's not as important. This would be more to yell at people who you don't have radios with.
Yeah. Or yell at people when I'm fucking underwater and we can't actually talk. We came up with wild gesticulation commands, like in the heat of the moment, but...
Right.
Okay, if I point with 2 fingers and then swirl it around, that means get the fuck out of here. If I hold up my fist and then I tap my head a couple times, that means just fucking kill me. I'm tired of this bullshit. Tuck me in, let me die.
I don't know, because as I said, like, again, we get a lot of XP, but there's a lot to spend XP on. Jeez.
Yeah, that's why I'm generous. There's a lot of different little things. Like, what do you got? Like 300? That's like 3 trained skills that you're not trained in.
Yeah. Well, like, luckily, like, I'm trained in all the skills that I want to be. Like, I'm trained in more skills than I am not trained in.
That's pretty good. That's a very comfortable level to hit.
Yeah, because I'm not trained in cryptography, demolition, interrogation, grappling, intimidation, mechanics, medication, navigation, security, and survival. Like everything else, I mean,
like, so for your character, grappling would probably could be pretty good because you're pretty close ranged.
Yeah, what's your max in warfare melee, Lucky?
My warfare melee is 41.
Yeah, you'd be very good at grappling if you decided to go that route.
Yes. You are the close combat guy.
But other than that, your companion handles most of the stuff that you might want to do on that list, or your fellow player character does.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I built it, but there's still I only have +10s in appeal, awareness, command, and pilot, and then I have another +15 for bonuses and my pilot. So I get a +25 if I'm using my custom mobility unit. But I think I'm alright with that for right now. But I've definitely got to put more points into that. And let's see here. For officer talents, I have double time, think fast, lightning skirmish, on alert, and regroup.
Yeah, you haven't really gotten deep in the EXP hole on officer talents yet.
Yeah. And that's why I'm wondering is maybe I should. Well, actually, let me see. Let me see if I can get
yeah, I know. Well, for me, I've just been delving into the earth spells.
So, there's a couple of technical notes I should say. Well, go ahead, Lucky.
I'm going to get Endure Hardship, because we just, because I recently picked up Double Time, and, that overland march thing might be fun.
That might actually, that may or may not actually come up, depending on how you want to do things tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, so I'm going to do Endure Hardship. That's 250, that'll leave me 50 over. And I have to buy, specialization still, but I don't know, it's either going to be... I kind of want to do Artificer now that I picked up crap and I'm making stuff. Because I like enchantments. Where's that copy button? There it is. 50.
So, first off, rule change, because, I said on an episode of What's Up, I rewatched Tanya, and I was like, even if these units are in feet, these are a lot higher than I actually did when I wrote this game the first time. The flight units have been reworked. Your overland speed is less now. It's now 50 kph times Wilmot. But your maximum fight ceiling has increased by about a factor of 5. So it used to be 100 meters times Wilmot. It is now 500 meters times Wilmot. And then you do your bonuses for custom stuff on top of that. So you got a little bit slower, so we don't need to worry about you blowing your ears out when you go over the sound barrier, or, the frostbite tearing your nose off or something dumb.
Oh, God.
you can go much higher, so cloud cover stuff can happen. Also, another thing that I forgot about that I realized later when I was looking at stuff was, I think technically, as per the way the rules are written, in the last conflict when you were fighting those bombers that were landing, those guys were flying and you guys were flying, so technically I think I should have applied the flying penalty all around, and everybody should have taken -10s. Didn't matter much, but for future.
Right.
Because even if you're flying, hitting a flying target is hard, because they're constantly in motion, unless you have special guns for that. I think it's a waste. Let me go check.
I don't know, like, I don't think that penalty would apply to us, because I literally told my guys to, like, form the line, if I remember correctly.
Firing at a flying target is -20. Yeah. Well, then your guys would have maybe lost a benefit, but no, I think it's suitable that, like, you can, because you can still get from a height advantage, I think, so I think that mitigates it better. It would be to gain a better maneuvering position, but the idea is that it's firing at a flying target. Your target, if they are flying, is in motion at an elevation. You know, it's much harder to hit them. A lot of them are small targets with odd cross sections. Normally, this is to your benefit, but I just realized that, like, I guess technically both targets are flying, so the penalty should have applied both times. So let's keep that in mind in future.
Alrighty.
Because God forbid, like, there's all kinds of combat modifiers. You guys should take more modifiers. You have to counteract with other modifiers with your fucking masterwork. I'm gonna aim blah blah blahs.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna pick up. I'm gonna do the same as Marth did, and I'm gonna pick up a hard to kill for my companion. Because don't die.
Yeah, +5 wounds and gives you a +20 toughness test to not die.
It's important.
It's super important.
Especially considering God knows what your companion's toughness is like.
I know we can spend their XP to, like, upgrade their stats.
Yep, you can spend XP just like a player character to upgrade stats, but buying stat advances is very important, but very expensive. It's supposed to be that way.
Yeah,
So, like, upgrading a skill to +10 is you get a +10 on one type of rolls. You upgrade your skill by 5 or by 10, that's a +10 on a shitload of rolls.
Yeah.
Sorry about blowing my nose there, but I just sneezed.
But now she's at 20 wounds. And 5 points of luck, because goddamn she rolled. I don't even know how to. Let's see. So that was 200. Where'd I put it? There it is. She still has 250 left. 250? Yeah, 250.
Yep. Right, 250 has that cross training thing, which can give you, like, +10s in a few different areas depending on what.
I already picked that up, because that's why she's an adjutant and comrade.
Yeah.
She sticks with me.
Right. I have a no comrade plus his little course thing.
Trading field surgeon, specialist. Has that special drill. Actually, hang on. Let me. How much is it for a simple stat upgrade? 200?
Yeah, simple is 200.
Let me do that instead.
Yeah.
Where the heck did I? Oh, this is why I put it. Okay. So that's hard to kill. Oh yeah, because I upgraded her int by 5. Now I will upgrade. Let's just go with toughness. Let's just make her a little bit harder to kill.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not. Alright, so the final thing I basically have to do is figure out if I want to pick what. Well, I am going to pick one. Just which hecking advanced career I want to do.
Right.
Yeah, no, I should have done this stuff earlier, but it's like, I don't know, I've just been feeling, like, super.
Hey, now I know that feeling.
Yeah, I know. For me, I could have spent all my XP, but I didn't do so.
Well, hold on to it. Also, I think we've said that as a general rule that if you have XP saved up, you can spend it later if you realize that, oh, I've got like 200 XP. I'd really like to take my evasion to +10 all of a sudden right now, Mr. GM. I feel like that would be relevant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I said I was gonna take Field Commander, which would give me 5 rounds rapid. When making command tests on the battlefield, once per round, you may reroll a failed test, taking the second result. When other soldiers within your leadership modifiers and leaders roll damage dice, they may re-roll a number of dice equal to your leadership modifier. They may only re-roll an individual die this way once per re-roll.
I no longer feel bad about what I'm about to do to you guys.
Okay.
You have lots of tools. You'll be fine.
All I know, you told me that was in an urbanized area.
Oh yeah, we'll get to the briefing, but I think we're gonna go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Now that we're like 15 minutes in, I'll go ahead and now we're more like 20. But we have a break in the conversation. I'll drop the Patreon bump really quick and remind everybody that this episode is brought to you by our patrons like Agar Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Denton, Nestor Flores, and Soda-san 0424. And that we thank you very much for your support, and we're glad you're helping us out, keeping us going on stuff. Someday, maybe you'll let me buy more dice that I don't need. I mean, I really don't need more dice, but I love dice. So polyhedral, so cool.
Such geometry.
Wow. But alright, so, remember how it was December 1914?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna move that forward a little bit. Welcome to January 1915, everybody.
Oh!
You guys can tell me what your victorious celebration on New Year's was like, because I'm sure it was great. But we're gonna move forward a little bit to somewhere in mid-January. Let's give you guys, let's see, because you got advance pay for the month of December.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let's call it about 15 days. Hold on, I gotta look up everybody's pay rates once again, because you need money, but also I have a complication for this. So,
still have 103 military credits.
You're gonna want to hold on to this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, where is day pay? There we go. So senior NCO. Alright, so Marth gets paid about 75 more. That is Ulrich. And officer gets 10 a day. So Wolfgang, you get paid 150 MC from just your day rate of pay. Well, you might want to hold on to that, because here's the thing. Hey, remember how you're surrounded on all sides except the water by the enemy?
Yeah.
So the only way for you to get supplies is by the water?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would appear that the United Commonwealth's more than impressive Navy has decided that, well, if they can't just shoot you, they're going to have to starve you out. So, over the past couple of months, and keep in mind, you have a long way for supplies to travel from Central Command. So, even from other fellow colonies, it's a lot of distance. So some of these shipments, were sent months ago, obviously. But your regular supply ships have been derailed. Not usually, openly sunk, but they'll be stopped by enemy naval vessels and will be, captured and scuttled. And they steal all your supplies. So, there's actually, it's in my marshal's, there's a rule for this. If you're undersupplied, scroll down. I think the campaign. Yeah, lack of supplies. There we go. So your regular shipments have been cut off, meaning ammunition, food, and other supplies are limited and carefully rationed. You may suffer penalties on procurements and logistics, and you only get one load of ammo. No spares.
Oh.
Okay.
Man, I'm glad I started talking to the major about doing raiding parties.
And you just it's your actual loadout, so it's assigned two. So normally you'd be assigned 2 full reloads and 1 reload for a secondary weapon. So you're down to 1 reload all around. So you do have 1 spare mag or clip, as opposed to 2.
Okay.
Haha! I hold my sword aloft to be like, this needs no reloads.
No, it doesn't. But you're gonna be a pain in the ass if you lose that one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, basically, you have started encountering supply troubles, as it is now, like I said, somewhere in mid-January. That's probably the last paychecks you're going to get cashed for a while. The government can keep writing you military credit, but at some point it'll stop meaning anything. So they're just better off not issuing it at the moment.
Don't write checks, you can't cash.
Now, obviously, you're sitting on a fair amount of physical wealth, but High Command really doesn't want you to spend that locally. They'd really love you to ship that back to the Treasury so that they can continue to fund the war effort.
It's like, I have a nest egg of fucking gems in my pocket. No.
Now, obviously, you are still, at the moment, you're still a strategic advantage. You are you're a place right in the enemy side. You're right up against Capeland. You're right in the Commonwealth's area. If they want to have anything out of the region that is to us the Indian Ocean, they'd have to swing it around past you. So, if reinforcements want to come up from other crown colonies to assault the central mainland in Europa, they got to come by you. And gosh, it's a really long way for them to go when they could fight you right here. So you've dealt with you've missed a couple of your regular shipments. Your backup supplies are either dwindling or are being rationed outright by your local command, by Colonial Command, because they don't want to end up in a protracted siege. They haven't gone quite so far as to blockade your ports yet, but you do know that if you talk from anybody in your local naval attachments, that it is a little dicey out there. So
don't make me have to go shoot some goddamn ships. I will.
No, not tonight. So this one doesn't really have an operational name, but basically your mission, should you once again choose to accept it, is that you guys are going to run basically combat air patrol. So you're going to be sent to the shore, the coastline, to one of your ports. There's not really any river outlets in Alkebulan, so you're going to go to a natural port which has a railhead, and basically you got a beeline on a supply ship that's coming. They haven't gone so far as to send convoys out, but this one managed to slip through patrols, aided by a couple of light cruisers, and has actually, by the time you guys are going to get on station, has actually pulled into port. This is your first actual supply ship to arrive in like a month. And basically, your mission is to do a patrol. Your full squadron is going to be deployed on this. That's because you have a couple of objectives here. So first and foremost, you need to set up an air patrol because, you're close to the sea and you're somewhat close to the enemy territory border. It would be entirely possible for them to send air mages, planes, seaplanes, anything like that up into the air and try and attack the port, which would be bad.
Very bad.
You're covered from a mainland, from a primary naval attack by the fact that this is a sheltered port. I probably should have done a diagram from this, but imagine basically kind of like a natural, like L or hook shape in the land, or even like a J shape. So you've got the mainland on one side, then you've got a small peninsula that kind of juts out and loops around and kind of shields the actual interior port.
Okay.
So yeah, you have a little bit of an inlet, and on the outside of the inlet, in addition to some, there was basically some small fishing village there before you guys came and industrialized the port. Some small residential areas. There are also now some big fuck-off coastal guns. Whose intent is to be, if we don't want you in our port, you don't get in our port. So, your mission, primary objective, is to patrol. Basically, you're going to go up in the air, you're going to go in shifts. You guys have basically the evening shift, starting just before sundown and going a couple hours into the night while they unload supplies. And, make sure everything's secure, nobody tries to counterattack, nobody tries to sink the boat, nothing like that. If this patrol fails, if either the enemy is too fast or too numerous for a single patrol group to take care of, or there's some other kind of complicated position, like, they send sub-mages in to, like, limpet the ship from under the water. They're not really expecting that, and they've got some guys on the ground to patrol for that, but, you're an air team, so there's not really a lot they can expect you to do about that. It's not like you can see under the water from, 10,000 feet or something. Especially after dark. In that case, your objective is to immediately escort the supplies out. Specifically, the Major tells you, your critical supplies, because this boat is full not only of normal supplies, like bullets and military rations, and new uniforms, and other stuff like that. Bandages, gauze, everybody's favorite. It's also loaded with supplies for you guys. Spare parts for mobility units, Ethereum cores, standard issue reagents for alchemy to keep your labs stocked up, stuff like that. Which would be very, very bad if you lost it, because, boy howdy, you guys spend Ethereum cores like they're candy.
Yeah, we do.
So, basically, if there's a change in the situation where patrol is no longer viable, just, something bad's gonna happen, you are to drop everything and escort that cargo out of the port. They don't care if you have to take over a rail, they don't care if you have to commandeer some trucks, They don't care if you have to put them on a stretcher and fly them back yourselves. Your number one mission priority is to escort the supplies out, if that happens.
Okay.
But golly gee willikers, they'd really prefer if you could secure the whole shipment and just, not have to retreat.
Quick question:
Also,
how are they normally getting the supplies out? Are they just loading it up into a truck and they're going to drive it over to the base?
No, train. The port has there's no river in this port. It's just, like I said, like a natural formation. So there's a railhead here. So you've got a military rail yard. They're going to load it up. It's not like an armored train, but it'll have a couple of like protected cars, and they'll just move everything over from the port from the dockyard to the rail yard, put it on a train, ship it out in the middle of the night in a train with all its lights blacked out, and hopefully nobody will be the wiser, and by the next morning all your shit's moved. But obviously it's a lot of supplies. This is they probably stopped a couple of allied places to take on additional supplies to relieve you. So this is a pretty important shipment.
Okay.
You have a tertiary objective, though, too. Not only has this supply problem affected your military, but also your civilian markets. So, food prices are going up. Water prices are going up. So the ship has also been equipped with relief supplies. So because you guys are mages and you're nice, and especially because you, Wolfgang, made a big deal of your Hearts and Minds campaign, the Major has tacked on a tertiary objective, which is to basically prevent a riot and make sure that relief supplies are passed out to civilians. It is the official policy of the Stahl military government that it is a first-come, first-served basis, officially. They want no shenanigansing about social status or anything like that. They're just not having it. You show up on time, you get your supplies, you leave, move along, and they're going to they hope that you're going to put some mages who are going to make sure this happens in an orderly and properly Germanic fashion. Take a ticket, get a bread roll, get a bottle of water, go home. So those are your 3 objectives. Now, to help you out, this is an interesting case where you actually control the battlefield, so these things are for you. You have a high-value target, so this mission is super important, so you've got full cooperation of friendly ground forces. You will be put in radio contact with a command post on the ground, who will be networked to several listening posts, which are actually in the area, who have searchlights, telegraphs, or telephone lines, and have probably light machine guns ready to fix, and they're going to be listening out for anything, and you can contact any, through ground control anyway, you can contact any of them, and they can contact you. Everybody will be on a super high alert state, and also, for your convenience, the ground will be blacked out, other than searchlights, and maybe some street lamps. Like, this is, there's not going to, once the sun goes down, they're not going to light any street lamps or anything, they're not going to light any bonfires, maybe flashlights, maybe some, storm lamps, so your ground team distributing supplies, doesn't have to work in the complete dark, but we're talking strategic blackout. So nobody will be able to see shit to bomb it, hopefully.
So they probably don't want us up in the air with searchlights, then?
No, they don't mind if you're, not looking down, but they don't mind if you have searchlights pointed up in the air. That's not a huge problem.
Okay.
So, to describe this area, this port city, which I had some names, but I just said it, that's never really stopped us before. So, you're looking at basically a split battlefield. In your center, in your rough middle area, and kind of, at an angle leading more southerly, you have industrial. You're a major industrial port, as much as you guys have out here. So, there are factories, there are warehouses, there's shipyards and dockyards. There's a big rail yard here so that they can get trains moving up and down. Lots of industrial. There's, some row housing and stuff. There's probably a lovely coal power plant, with some big smokestacks dumping some stuff in there. Stuff like that. The rest of your terrain, once you leave the actual industrialized area and get out of that lovely zone where there's the ocean right there, it's desert. It's just desert. It's rolling dunes. That means at night it'll be cold as balls, and there's basically no ground cover. So, hey, good for you. Nobody will be able to sneak up on you, hopefully. On the other hand, you really don't want to have to retreat into the desert. It would suck. So, as noted, this is a major, crossroads area. There's a lot of infrastructure on the ground that you can use, but God forbid if the enemy actually gets any boots on the ground, they can use it too. And there are actually, like I said, listening posts here. There are men on guns, on lights, on telegraphs, ready to signal you, hey, we see something weird. And your weather prediction You'll be, like I said, this will be an evening patrol, pre-dusk to early evening. And your weather prediction for the evening is windy. Light cloud cover, an offshore breeze. So, there's your mission profile, major, ships you out, everybody loads up with what ammo they can carry. You probably don't waste Ethereum cores and just take a military train out there, the train you'll take back.
Yep.
Rows and rows of empty boxcars.
Can I, before we head out, can I swing a couple... Actually, no, doesn't, our recovery, doesn't the recovery and support team come with, like, searchlights or something?
Yeah, they should have search lamps. They'll have, like I said, like block and tackle and stuff.
Okay, cool.
Also, I'm pretty sure you have requisitioned searchlights before. Like, I think Ulrich just owns one now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I bought that.
Yeah, you did. I know you bought one. I was just...
Yeah, I did.
Yes, you will have a unit for some spares.
Okay, cool.
Anything else while you're in Central Command you want to requisition? Because let me tell you, it's not going to get any easier to roll procurement on site.
Yeah, no kidding. Shoot. Coming in from the sea, I'm going to be in full battle rattle. No. As I said, it's just... I'm assuming something's going to go horribly wrong, but...
You always assume something's going to go horribly wrong.
Yeah, but unfortunately I can't think of anything that would, like, alleviate this. Like, something that would, like... Either I would have to have something that makes loading up faster, or something that could basically keep the enemy away while we load up, so...
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the fact that you're a squadron commander, you've got, 3 whole platoons under your command.
Honestly, I might just put the air rifles and scouts up, and I might just command the fucking recovery and support team to assist with the fucking loading and relief efforts. So the sooner that gets done, the better. It also means we have eyes on the ground, just in case something weird's happening down there, too. So no offense against ground command, but I've gone through the fire into flames with these guys, so a little more inclined to put them to use. But yeah, that should help with those objectives. But so if we have recovery squad team on the ground, that means we have the air rifles and scouts in the air. We wouldn't have to worry about small numbers, but let's see. If we weren't taking a train, I'd say we requisition some trucks just in case we need to get away, but I don't know.
I mean, they won't be militarized, but you could probably, like, run down some trucks on site. Or actually, fuck it, you're taking a giant... It's a cargo train, you're taking these all back. You can say, hey, well, it's empty, can we throw some trucks on a flatbed or something? You'd have to justify what you need the trucks for, but you could probably try and swing it.
I'm not sure. Ulrich, anything that stands out to you that maybe we want to take before we head out?
Nothing I can think of.
Give me a moment here. I'm just gonna run through the gear list as usual. I picked up flares and I got a flare gun, so when if I need to be motherfucking light, there is shit happening. I also got smoke grenades because fucking useful. So part of my quick silence here while I quickly scan through it. No, I don't need a bladed whip, thank you.
It's not really necessary at this juncture.
Okay, let's see here. No. Caltrops, that's what we need. Foraging tools. Oh yeah, those. Grapple. I should just get a grappling hook, just for reasons. Man trap.
Ulrich, how do you feel about this job?
Well, as I said, I find it, like I said, I'm a little concerned that like I said, if they were able to slip through, like, whatever blockade they have, like, I'd probably send someone after it, at least just to see where it went.
And I should note, this is another important detail. They won't be in, actually, no, that's right, I forgot that detail, so this actually matters. This was reinforcements. There are a couple of destroyers that escorted this thing part of the way here. Not like a full-blown convoy, but you got a couple of naval support ships who are in dock being resupplied. and refueled.
They might
And
not
there are
necessarily-
probably a couple of light cruisers doing some patrol up and down your chunk of the coastline, but not going very far. So there's a little bit of
Yeah.
naval protection that is here and was on this boat that got it the rest of the way here. But
but
like I
you
said,
get
not
a couple
full-blown
high-flying
convoy.
mages get a couple high-flying mages over it all, or a couple sub-mages. You just come in. Like, if my mission was to literally, go in and stop the resupply, it'd just take a small team with either, like, explosive rounds or bomb racks, just fly over and, drop a load and get out. As I said, maybe stick around for a second pass if there's enough confusion.
well, that's
So-
why you've got a squadron worth of guys, and you're flying air patrol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see nothing that I'm gonna grab, yeah. No, this is gonna, as I said, equipment's not gonna be the make or break here. It's gonna be good old human senses. Alrighty. Alright. Well, I'm gonna lay out the battle plan. Like I said, we're gonna be, we're doing the full mobilization with, cover and support assisting with relief aid and the loading and unloading. As I said, I think at this point it'd be better for us to prioritize getting the stuff in and out than making sure no one takes pot shots out of it. But that does mean that the entire Airwolves and Scouts will be in the air. Will be divided up into several teams. Each will be equipped with a search lamp. You are under direct orders not to point those at the ground. But teams up. We're going to be on full alert this entire time. So make sure everyone copies up and gets a bit of rest and has dinner. There'll be no space for distraction. So this is the
Let's see. What would be your scout? He's very. That is Lieutenant Falkenrath. He asks you what rules of engagement are.
Well, let's see here. As I said, shit, I have to actually think about this. Like, what are the different types of rules of engagement? Let's see here. Like, do I go like automatic kill, like pursuing? I got it. As like our main objective is to keep people from messing with the shipment. So as long as we can keep them at range, I see no reason for us to fully pursue them out to sea or wherever they might flee if people show up. If they are committed to staying in the area, then we must unfortunately take them out. Instead, we will, as always, respect surrenders and treat prisoners according to the rules of war. Again, they do not surrender. As I said, at least give them a quick death.
Plenty of solemn nod and salutes.
Mm-hmm. As I said, this is not an attack. This is not a mission to attack others. It's to protect our own. We should go forward with that in mind.
Alright, so everybody climbs on the train, probably at about noon. You have your midday meal. Everybody gets on the train ride, powers its way over. Obviously, you guys could have flown here quicker, but that's, spending resources. Yeah. So,
I will inform everyone, try to go light on the Ethereum cores.
Jawohl. Everybody understands.
Yeah.
Alright, so, you guys arrive, midday. The passenger cars of your train are probably split off and loaded up. There's, a different unit of mages, one of the other couple of, companies you have here, who are, they've been in an overnight patrol, probably escorting this boat as it came in the middle of the night last night. So they're dog-tired. Their commander, the guy who you probably barely know this guy. You've seen him maybe 5 times in the command buffer because he's off doing something else, dashing and probably terrible too. But he gives you a salute and handshake and is like, "All right, it's all yours. We're going back to base. Gonna go sleep." All right. So you have early part of the afternoon to set up basically while they basically set up the dockyard. They, okay, planks are in. We're ready to, uncap everything. Nothing's broken. Do an inventory. Get your train set up basically and split up to load. And so probably about, it's still mostly summer, so it wouldn't get super late. So probably about, 4 or 5 o'clock. It's time for you to officially take on your patrol, get everybody in the air. Wind starts picking up. It's a little salty.
Sea breeze. Yarr.
All right, so your situation is it's pretty typical, Doc. You know, this is a big supply ship, so there's a big long, stone and concrete pier. You've got multiple gangplanks. You got a cargo crane. You might even have, you only have a couple of ports in this country, so you probably got a couple of cargo cranes, and just the supplies are being loaded off in big pallets and containers, clunked on the ground. They're being shifted by hand into trucks and unloaded. They're being separated out into different piles, which is probably what a lot of the afternoon was spent doing. So, this is probably like a merchant marine ship or something. So, you speak to the captain. He's a normal, but he's, old and grizzled. He's been growing a beard in for a couple of months while he's been at sea. Mm-hmm. He looks like he's missed a few nights of sleep, probably while he's been rounding parts of the continent. Always on alert for Commonwealth destroyers, or God forbid they have something big and nasty out here like a battlecruiser or a dreadnought. Nothing like that would happen, surely.
Huh.
But yeah, so he, gives you a salute, gives you a handshake, basically like, okay, well, it's getting off my boat. This is where you guys take over. This pile is for relief supplies. This pile is regular military supplies. This pile is mage supplies. And you can see him, it's got padded, metal crates which are locked with, like a normal ammo crate's like maybe a clamp lock or something secured. These are like, bolts or actual key locks, and you're like, those are Ethereum cores. There's spare mobility units and kits. There's specialist weapons like more scout rifles, because basically only you guys use those. Spare ammo, okay. Some specialty stuff. Maybe there's some more Ethereum bullets packed in there.
Maybe.
By the way, did you guys, when you guys gave your report on your Ethereum rounds, did you turn your spares back in, or are you guys like rocking half-spent clips?
No, I turned mine back in.
I turned mine back in.
Right. That's good. The quartermaster doesn't hate you. So yeah, there's some fun stuff for you guys packed in there, all kinds of relief and stuff. If you guys had any personal packages coming from home, that weren't brought right away by Mage Mail, they're probably coming that way.
Okay.
So you've got 3 platoons lined up. They're in there. I assume everybody's in mobility units. Like even if they're loading and unloading, you're not letting your recovery team sit out here.
Yeah, no. As I said, they're proud soldiers of the Stal Empire. They must be ready to battle at any time. I will not apologize for giving this extra burden, but I will. I will do my part. Basically, what we do with the trucks we brought, we're gonna load up the mage supplies in the trucks, and basically, as soon as those are loaded in, we're gonna send them out.
All right, you're gonna put them on the train, basically.
Yeah.
All right. Are you putting anybody from your unit to watch them once they're on the train? Because
yes.
Okay, I was about to say, because they're gonna be quite far away from you if you guys are gonna stand here and like pass out relief supplies and make sure other stuff is moving, and you put them on the truck. Go ahead and roll me, I guess, command to take command of the situation, organize people to load shit on trucks in an orderly fashion.
Right-o.
And also, so are you putting up air teams now?
Excuse me?
Are you putting up air units now?
Yes.
Okay. So they take off.
The only ones that need to stay on the ground really right now is the recovery and support team.
All right.
Said once we'll take to the air as well once I get everything going.
Secure, sure. All right. So roll command. You said small patrols, right? So probably like a fire team. All right. They start. They take off in big blobs and then slowly break up into 4-man diamond or delta formations and start doing basically. Well, actually, you guys have planned this. What's your patrol pattern? Immerse me. What pattern of patrol are they running? Are they gonna fly in big circles? Gonna do grid lanes? What are you thinking?
Grid lanes.
All right, so they fly not too fast, not too slow, and just nice straight lines back and forth. Watching your sectors, you've probably got a map of the town. Might be a little crude, but you've got a map, and you marked it up all the grids and be like, okay, your lane is J5, your lane is H5, stuff like that.
Yep. Plus 10. So 51, 21. That's 3 degrees of success. Oh no. command training and fucking my medal. That's another plus 40. I almost forgot about that. So that's 91. So that's 7 degrees of success.
All right. So before it really gets dark at all, and before any kind of crowd forms, you're able to get our shit packed up on the trucks. You probably have to do a couple of truck runs, but you get them sent out. So that's basically resolved before anything else really happens. How many guys are you going to detach and put on the supplies?
I'm going to put 2 fire teams on it.
All right, so about 8 guys.
Yeah. I said, I want, I'm telling them I want basically every 20 minutes I want a call-in.
Yeah, well, you're the boss.
Oh.
So probably at this point, either you or your XO has been put in contact. You have a point of contact here who goes on the radio. Protocol is port control.
Port control.
So, port control here. We have reports in from all listening posts on the ground. Everybody's good to go. We've got searchlights ready to go after dark. We'll let you know if anybody reports anything. And tell the flying teams if they need anything on the ground. Call port control.
Will do.
So there's probably a lot of radio chatter right now. Your XO's dialing through a couple different channels to keep everything. So, but basically, port control is your point of contact. You need to talk to ground troops. If you need to talk to the guys on the destroyers, obviously you have your own radio communication. But if anybody else needs to talk to your guys in the air, they do it all through control.
Okay.
Who is sitting somewhere with a big radio antenna in a darkened building that nobody knows where the fuck they are.
Let's keep it that way.
You hope.
Yeah.
All right. So you're dockside right now. Are you gonna there's a line is forming of civilians. Are you gonna take any effort to organize this yourself, or are you just gonna leave it to the number of guys you've left in the recovery platoon?
Hearts and minds. I'll take charge.
All right. Like I said, you've basically got a big pile of relief supplies. You've got some pry bars.
Like before we handing out, I will address the growing ground of how things are gonna be.
All right. Sounds like that's another command test to assert your authority. You probably don't get your special military bonuses to talk to hungry and/or thirsty civilians.
No, but I rolled a 6, so
that's pretty good.
That's still pretty good. So that means 51 because I do have a +10 just static in command. That's 4 degrees. Yeah, 4 degrees of success. Blech.
All right. Well, everybody's like, okay, all right, nothing to do. There's this guy's carrying a sword, so we should listen to him.
So
he's got a lot of medals. I guess he's okay. He's important.
Yeah.
He's getting us food.
Yeah. So basically, the protocol is everybody's going to form a line, first come, first serve. When you get to your spot in the line, you'll be handed your supplies, and you'll move out. You got a couple of the recovery unit guys basically just organizing everything, trudging it down the dock, because obviously civilians are not allowed to actually come out onto this pier right now. Yeah. And there's probably a gatehouse where there's one or two MPs who are armed with, pistols and stern looks. And you have...
got a trench club.
Yeah. A billy club or something, and then there's your guys. You can get micromanaging on the units if you want, but if it's not important to you, that's okay. They're just here.
Nah, as long as things are going, quote unquote, as planned, I'm not gonna get too deep into it. I'll trust people know what they're doing.
Yeah, no. Since you took, point on organizing the crowd, there don't seem to be any problems, and they just start handing out supplies. Like I said, everybody probably gets all right, here's, a canteen of purified water, here's some bread ration, here's some, maybe flour ration, stuff like that, move on. There's a bar of chocolate for everybody in there. Just, all right, move on.
Well, so we got the, quote-unquote, critical supplies loaded up already. We got guys on it. Release supplies is looking good. We have the patrols in the air. We have established communication with port control. I think I'll take up my fire team and we'll join the patrol as well. Can't have too many eyes on this kind of thing. So, take to the air.
All right, so you're up in the air. It's getting closer to sundown. The sky's starting to get a little red. Not a lot of clouds in the sky. Luckily, once you get some altitude, your air was already nice and cool, but it stays pretty good. You can see faint wisps of sand, cresting over the dunes. The waves gently crash across the shore.
I feel like this is a very scenic view. I wish I
Yeah.
just wasn't so fucking paranoid that this red sun's gonna become a fucking bloody sun.
Oh yeah, no, it's very picturesque. There's the seabirds calling. There's local fishermen coming in with the evening catch, because that's one of the most secure things you got for food around here. You see maybe there's some ranchers on the outskirts of this town bringing stuff back in. The evening passenger train goes out for the capital. The power plant is just billowing out smoke.
Man, this would be real nice if we weren't in the middle of a damn war.
Well, yeah, because that's the other thing. That's the counterpoint is you look out over the sea and you can't help but notice in the bottom of your frame of view is they've got these big static gun emplacements the size of battleship cannons just sticking out there. There's a couple of bunkers or pillboxes around the loop, the inlet, with machine guns sticking out, ready to go. From depending on how high up you want to fly, you can probably see. There's guys who have just taken over random rooftops, or in, makeshift, standing watchtowers. Like three tall logs and a platform. There's just guys, with a big light and a telegraph line, smoking with guns ready. Not only can you, depending on if they're standing outside or inside, you may or may not be able to see your own guys sitting around the rail yard, but you can definitely see conventional soldiers with rifles, bayonets attached, just smoking, minding their own business. There's those two destroyers just, quietly fueling up in port. It's a very interesting contraposition. Everybody, why don't you go? Well, you're looking, your eyes out. Everybody, give me an awareness test for divisibles.
Shaky.
Right.
That's a 77. That's big now.
You see nothing. You are in Alkebulan. You really wish you'd brought your watercolors.
Okay, so that is 4 degrees of success.
All right. So you guys start your patrol. You take a grid lane, basically. You start lazily patrolling. Well, you're
It will not
the
be
captain.
said that it will not be said that the captain does not do his own work.
Well, yeah, you're the captain. What how you doing this? Did you just pick a nice central lane? Are you high? Are you low? What do you feel like? What's your assignment here?
We're taking a high central lane.
All right. So you're kind of in a nice small square kind of circle in the center of town.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably right over the water's edge. Not safe enough that you feel like if you took a tumble, you'd definitely land in the bay. But if you had to do a controlled fall, you got good eyes out. So you basically, Captain, see nothing other than just, like I said, oh, wow, you really wish you brought your watercolors.
I got distracted, okay?
Or maybe the sun gets in your field glasses.
Curse you.
Ulrich, you're eyes up. This is your job. You're, always on the lookout. At the moment, while it's daylight, you don't see anything untoward. There's nothing on the horizon. No mysterious signs. If you see a unit of mages flying by, they're clearly wearing your uniforms. You can pick them at a distance. What you do notice, though, is that the wind's picking up a little, and it looks like some clouds might be blowing in from the sea. Not a huge deal yet, but you might be getting some more cloud cover as the night goes on. It means you're gonna lose a lot of your visibility. There'll be no ambient star or moonlight.
Okay.
Glad we sprung for search lamps. Oh, I don't know that.
Oh yeah, I'll just inform the captain. It's like, hey, there's going to be there's going to be clouds coming in.
And they're probably too far away to really think about. Again, me being paranoid. What if there's troops hiding in these clouds?
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not going to send a whole bunch of guys just to go investigate damn clouds.
Yeah.
No, that might be a little bit of an overextension. You do have a decent, you've got 2 full platoons up here, but that might be a little bit of an overextension.
Yeah. So no. But
I mean, you're broken up into teams. You could detach a scout patrol to be like, oh, go eyeball those clouds, but that's pretty far.
So I'm not gonna. But
well, basically, you guys, you have some time to kill before anything important happens. So, what do you spend your time doing on the patrol?
Mostly checking equipment, making sure I'm staying in radio contact, make sure everything's good.
Yes, you are getting your 20 minutes. You all synchronized watches before you left, so everybody, on the 20 minutes on the dot. Rail 1, check in.
Copy that rail 1. Let's see here. So make sure maintain radio contact. Let's see here. Occasionally check in on the relief team, on the relief supplies. Maybe pop down for a little bit. See how okay then. Take that off. Let's see here. Wish I brought my watercolors.
Yep.
That is a gorgeous African sunset.
Right out over the ocean, too.
Mm-hmm. But...
in the future, video game developers will try and capture this moment with, volumetric lighting and god rays and stuff.
I guess he may just warping video.
You could probably do that. You'd have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
Get a good free-flying engine. Anyway,
there's nothing major we do. It's just, we just do basic grunt work, and I make sure everyone stays connected and everyone stays okay.
Yeah. Your Exo's on the radio pack, just, headset on, clicks through the channels.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are in the air for about an hour. That means some of you have to burn a charge on your Ethereum units.
Right.
One of you is high efficiency. Very good. Nice running time. Actually, this is a good. Since we readjusted, what's your flight height? Because you have a much wider range now.
Oh yeah. My max height is 5,000 meters. My max speed is now 400 kph. So if I'm gonna translate that to feet real quick, that's 16. That's it's precisely 16,404.2 feet. Let's see here, equals 3.1 miles in the air.
But yeah, not everybody can fly that high, so
yeah, it does mean I can fly over some mountains.
Well, that's good. That's what we were going for.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, so you're flying.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good question. Ulrich, what's your flight height like now with the change?
Oh, let's see here. Flight height
500 times robot.
500 times 4 is 2,000.
And you also have expert to modify that?
No.
Okay.
I think Lucky's...
Yeah, Lucky's doing that with expert.
4 too. And his expert, which doubles it?
Yeah, my,
Which that would be 4,000?
Yeah, but I also have the efficient, which increases my height depth by 25%.
By 25%.
Yeah. So yeah, it was doubled to 4,000, and then a quarter again of that. 5,000.
Right.
All right. So you're probably maintaining your regular guy's max height of about 2 clicks.
Mm-hmm.
Got some light cloud cover. All right. Well, let's get started. So you guys are minding your own business. You're in your lazy circle.
Doop-a-doop.
And you're flying along, eyes out. You're paranoid. You're looking at things. The sun has just started to hit the horizon. It's getting a little hard to see. There's that cloud cover. Maybe some of those cloud banks are like a light rain. Oh, but at this moment, it's not very serious. It's just it might be like a quick squall, as the cooler sea air hits some a very hot desert air. You might get a spatter rain. But you're sitting out there, and all of a sudden you're probably not flying close enough where she can tap you on the shoulder. But your Exo says that she's radio broadcast, open channel. It's close.
Oh.
And then I assume everybody adjusts so you can hear.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a refined voice speaking in English. It's a woman's voice, and it says something to the effect of, "Where I come from, we prefer to hunt foxes, but wolves will do." And the wind starts to pick up a little. Let's see. Would this be a? You don't have to roll anything. So at this moment, as if by a cue, that wind and those clouds that were kind of off the shore suddenly start to pick up. The wind really starts to raise. Clouds start to form kind of over your head in kind of like a swirling pattern. It starts to rain lightly.
Mm-hmm.
People on the ground are starting to get spattered radio reports of like, visibility's getting really low down here because like sand is coming in off the desert. Some of the fringes, some of your listening posts are basically watch posts are basically blinded.
Mm-hmm.
You get reports from the dockside that the surf's real rough all of a sudden. So if you're fielding those, that takes a second. But after that, basically a small cyclone springs up. By the way, we are now using the vertical draft rules. This is currently an updraft because that's how thunderstorms work. So everybody gets 50% more flight, but has a -10 to all pilot checks because the wind is pulling you up constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, one of those cloud banks that's pulled close to you kind of parts, and you can see in the distance, high, like taking advantage of the draft to be a little bit higher than you right now. Close formation, loose V, looks like maybe a small platoon, 12-man team. And basically on that open channel, you hear it's like 301st Royal Air Rifles deploy. Ladies, anyone who brings me a wolf patch tonight gets a finest bottle of brandy. Anyone who brings me none has to buy it. And then they all scatter. And you hear this faintly, Wolfgang, as you see two figures remain kind of high into the back in this cluster. The lead one, at this distance, you can barely make out she has some kind of large rifle, which she seems to be pointing at you. And you kind of hear almost like somebody speaking under their breath, but still in the open channel. Now be a dear and listen to reason. So, this is combat. Roll initiative. Mr. Paranoid gets his paranoid bonus because he totally saw it coming. Some stuff. It's 2d10. 1d10. I can double check things.
Right.
I'm glad my paranoia of like they're hiding in the fucking clouds is spot on.
Is there you said initiative 6.
I was honestly
Lucky's staying active.
It's always active.
Oh right, it's the passive thing.
Oh, there it is. There's the roll. Roll twice for initiative. Take the best results. Plus 2, so this is what edge. So
Okay.
Modifies that. No. So it's just plus 2 stats. Oh, well, technically, I should roll twice, because I could technically roll higher. Oh, it did! There's a 10.
Why? Let's see. This one there. Oh, yeah, my will modifier. Oh, either way, it's 4. Oh, excuse me.
Don't get the plus 2.
What was my paranoid? Plus 2. Roll them dice. That's 8. That's a 10 total for me. I'll write that in.
Is that just a font? No, okay, so she doesn't. That's okay. She's a big girl. Probably should have done that a little bit better. Because now I've realized that one of these people is very fast, but one of them is a little bit slow. So that'll be... That's... Okay. Got everybody's initiatives. So, before we actually do the combat turns, I've got a couple of special abilities to activate. So first of all, the enemy leader is going to activate the Black Baron ability. She's going to declare an enemy at the start of this encounter. That's going to be Wolfgang. And she gets +10 to attack rolls and active defense rolls versus you.
Righto.
And now she's going to activate her second special ability, Fox Hunt Formation, and make a command test. Let's see. I believe that passes. Get some pluses on that. Yes. Okay. So she passes on that, which means that all allies who can see and understand her, which is everybody, gets a +10 on chase, spot, and active defense rolls for the rest of the encounter. So that's not her, but that's all her friends. By the way, Mr. Tactics Man, you can roll me a reflexive tactics check to see if you recognize that unit name. Because she did give her unit designation.
Let's see. No, Texas is for. I mean, Oh no, I do get. Oh, my manual does count for 8 units, but I need it. Oh yeah. Let's see here. 2 degrees of success.
All right. So you have heard of them. The 301st Royal Air Rifles, aka the Flying Foxes. They are an unusual United Commonwealth unit. They are a truly Commonwealth unit, and they are built together of several forces from across the Crown Colonies. If you remember correctly, their leader is a flight lieutenant, a mage of some distinction. You don't remember her name, but you remember her rank and that she was styled as the Viscountess of Wickbrook. So she's a blue blood. And they are a small, basically, you've heard of them slightly since the war started. They are a small air interception and removal unit. So they are light, fast units designed to attack enemy flying mages. They are unique in that they are an all-female unit, and that apparently their leader, the flight lieutenant, gets to handpick her recruits. So they are a small elite force. And they're here for you. And guess what? She rolled a 16. Because I maxed that shit out. Alright, so for her first half action, she will brace. For her second half action, she will shoot Wolfgang with a very large gun. Mm-hmm. Wolfgang, you can also roll tactics to identify this gun before it shoots you in the face.
No. Well, okay. Wait, I can...
You can reroll.
Yeah, that's right. I just said it and I already forgot.
I think this is the first time you have literally ever used this ability.
Oh, yeah, because I keep asking, can I use it? And you're like, no, it doesn't count for this.
No, this is not that thing. This is that thing.
This is that thing. Let's see. 2 degrees of success again.
Okay, so obviously, tanks don't exist yet, so you have no concept of an anti-tank rifle. However, armored vehicles do exist, and obviously, you as an armored mage exist, so you know that there are theoretical designs for high-caliber rifles which are designed to be fired at armored targets, such as to penetrate a mage's mystical defenses, or, stop an engine block in an armored truck or a car or something. This appears to be one of those weapons.
Great.
Well, you made a reputation for yourself as a big metal man, so she brought the anti-metalman gun. What does heavy barrel do again, boys?
The what?
What does heavy barrel do again? I should have probably actually copied weapon stats, but that means I'd have to clear out my document a little.
I'm looking up. Since I got
braced.
I
should set the engagement range. Let's figure out how far away they want to be, because they're above you a little bit. They're at about 300 meters, and slightly above you, like I said. So I'll figure out how many pluses and stuff I need later.
I'm just pulling up. I got this. Okay. Heavy bear. Come on. Stop saying words. Heavy barrel. +1 damage to piercing. +1 damage to piercing increases max range by 10%.
Okay, so that's 5 degrees of success on Wolfgang.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I think that's all our pluses.
And the tank rifle.
Well, actually, no. We just said this. Everybody's flying, so technically that's only... Hold on. I think she loses a degree of success because she has a bonus for that, but that's still -20. So, actually, wait, no. That would cancel out because they're above you. That's right. Firing from a height advantage, and she has a special thing that cancels the penalty. You probably don't want to let her keep shooting you like this, so that's still 5 degrees.
Okay. Well, I do have my shield, which is passive barrier, which I shave off 2. I'm trying to remember. I can't block a fucking bullet.
You cannot parry a bullet unless you have haste, I think.
Yeah.
So I gotta just evade, I guess. I don't want to spend my reflex yet. Wait, no, this is spend my reflex. Fuck.
Yeah, no, this is it. This is your one shot at this.
Yeah, well.
By the way, like I said, as you know, your ground goes up. There's a lot of complaints. A lot of as it gets dark, lots of floodlights are like slapping up, like everybody's putting lights. You're probably getting a couple of distress calls, like, "Hey, Captain, what should we do?" As these, like I said, these flying mages just spread out. By the way, they're all wearing like like armor, but they have like ponchos or hoods on, which appear to have little animal ears on top. Get it? Because they're flying foxes.
Let's see here. So I rolled.
Actually, is that? Hold on, let me
16.
check something.
Okay.
Because you guys have lots of fun stuff on your guns, so they have lots of fun stuff on their guns.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I brought my my special because
No, okay.
Why not?
That will, the only tag that actually adds right now is reliable, so that only matters if I actually control damage.
Okay. So evasion. Nope. Shit. I'm still gonna get hit. I only got 2 degrees of success.
Oh, for once she hits you. All right, let's see. 18 flips to 81. So let's see what location that is.
Wait, what does light cover do again?
Minus 10. So she would have lost a degree
Well, it's still. Wait.
because she would have scored 10 less. So let's see. You got 2 degrees of success.
Yeah.
I believe the defender wins. That's said somewhere.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, that would have been your right leg. Which did you roll? Evade or barrier?
Evade.
Okay. Reflexively, you see this giant rifle snap up, and you just immediately flatten your body. You present your flattest side, which is good because about half a second after you do that, you feel the slap of air as a supersonic brick flies by your kneecap, and somewhere down into the ground where you're sure it made a very, very bad result. And just, whooshes by you as you feel this, displacement of this giant rifle round, slap against your body. Well, that's, it's a slow weapon anyway, but that's both of her actions because she had to brace and then shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that was 16. It is now 13.
That's me.
Yes, that is.
Okay. Right, so I don't think I quite caught, but how far away are they?
300.
100.
300.
Okay. 800?
I'll type it.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so 300. Do I have use? I already have my scout rifle, so I'm going to use that. Okay, so I'll go for. Guess I'll just go for one of the other. One of the.
There's 2 primary targets who are engaging just you, and then there's several more of them scattered around, basically diving in out of clouds, taking pot shots at your guys.
Okay, well,
they're basically having an incidental battle with your squadmans. So there's 2 primary NPCs.
Okay, I'll go for the one attacking Wolfgang.
Okay.
Keep that one from doing anything else.
Alright.
Okay. Did you get that?
Yeah, you're gonna shoot the other one.
Yeah. Okay.
You're guessing by the like shoulder to hip ratio, that's also a woman, and obviously Wolfgang knows that the Flying Foxes are a female unit. But you can't really tell a lot of details about this other than that she is a big lady and is very armor plated.
Right. Right. So I have to remember that mine is 20 there. Is there any other modifiers I need to be aware of?
It is windy and rainy right now, but I don't think that actually. Well, it was dusk and there's cloud cover, so it's probably low light. So there's another minus 10 in there.
-10.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, got like a degree of failure, so that's not really good.
Bang! Whoosh. Round goes down range. Well, that was only a half action. You haven't done anything else, so.
What else can I?
You got a scout rifle. You can shoot twice.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I also just need to double check. Oh, none of my airsols can do anything, so.
Strategy doesn't work for one of them.
I probably won't.
Why? Dear me, in game design, why are elephant guns so short-ranged? Alas, alack. Means I can't do my fun thing. I'll have to do the other thing.
Honestly, why didn't
also another thing to keep in mind is movement, too. Like, if you want to try and get any closer or get any position, There is cloud
Right.
cover. There are like smokestacks too coming up, so you can theoretically seek cover in the air if you wanted
that's
to.
probably what I probably would do. And also, like, things like, why did I bring, like, a jar of dirt?
I got the jar of dirt. I got the jar of dirt.
Because then I could actually use some earth to attack them with.
Yeah,
I mean, if you want to...
Oh, it's almost like the enemy's prepared for this.
Next
The
time, I'm
silent
just gonna be
brooding
like,
one is shitty in the air.
here's like 10 jars of dirt.
He's shitty in the air, and the other one likes to fight close up, so we'll shoot him with a big fuck-off rifle from quite a long ways away.
Okay, so my next half action is to go for cover.
Alright, what's your agility right now? What's your base movement, rather, I should say?
My base movement is 6.
Is that also including, don't you get a bonus from Lucky?
Yeah, lightning
yeah,
skirmish.
So lightning surge is what, plus 2?
Yep.
Okay, so that's 8 then.
Alright, you guys weren't particularly close to any clouds beforehand, so I don't know if 8 will get you there, but you can definitely start moving towards, like I said, there's that, the power plant has these big coal smokestacks which are letting out, piles of smoke. And there's some offshore clouds. So because you're flying, you can move your base movement freely in 3 directions, so you can pick, like, where you want to go, if you want to ascend, descend, etc.
I'll probably ascend.
Alright, so you're going up a little bit to try and break, and which direction are you headed to get cloud cover, basically? Are you just going to go straight up until you hit the clouds? Or...
Probably, right, since the clouds are above.
Mm-hmm. You could retreat, like I said, further inland to try and, find a smokestack there. The ships in port have smokestacks going, so you might find some cover that way. Just, which direction do you want to move? These guys are attacking from the sea, so towards the water is towards them, and towards land is farther away from them.
Okay, let's see here. Guess I'll just go straight up.
Alright, you go... Okay, this is a very... So, what height would you guys actually have been flying at, keeping in mind that, obviously, Ulrich and your NPCs can't fly as high as Wolfgang can.
I'd say like about 1,000 meters.
Alright, about a kilometer. Alright, so you go about 8 straight up. It's not a lot. Let's see, I think what are the lowest... Double check cloud height once again. What's your typical cloud levels? Okay, so... Heights. Alright. Yeah, you're basically looking at rain clouds, so you probably have to go up like a total of 500 meters before you can hit there.
Right, so it would probably take way too many rounds.
I mean, you can full burn and dash, so like you can start to hoof it if you need to, but right now you're just trying to lessen their height advantage and get closer to cloud cover. Yeah. All right. Well,
Ulrich, I might make a suggestion. You can only climb so fast, but you can. Well, actually, no. You probably shouldn't try it. Never mind.
What?
You can only climb so fast, but you can fall real fast.
Yeah, but I don't. He's got that would be a fear test because he's got that phobia.
Yeah,
he does,
yeah.
he
That's why. That's why I said I was
cut
like, oh wait.
engines and free fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was going to be my action, but because I don't know. I am a little concerned because that in combat, we can.
You're right. Also, why would someone who's afraid of heights increase the height of a match?
That's fair. I mean, you're trying not to get shot right now, so.
Yeah, so maybe it's that point, maybe. Well,
I think you can also take cover.
Yeah, so cover and what?
Like, if you can get to the ground, you can just take cover behind buildings and whatnot.
Right.
Oh, but as I said...
The problem there is that you're ceding the combat advantage then. If you guys drop all the way to street level, you're like, you won't get shot, but then you're basically giving up any air advantage you have.
Yeah.
At this moment, we don't have an air advantage to begin with.
Yeah,
Alright, that's
I think I'll just correct my thing. It's probably just going to be diagonal then.
Because, as I said, if they start above us, and
diagonal
we can only
going
move
forward and up.
Alright, so you're moving towards them, basically.
Yeah, so probably
Alright, that's fair. You move 8 meters. We're not no trigonometry in this game. You move 8 meters, you rush towards them. You close the gap.
Yes.
Alright. Well, that's your action. That was a half action move. So we move to Wolfgang at initiative 10.
Full move, base jump, clamber, dash. Base movement ×4, but cannot defend.
You should probably set a flat falling speed, since I don't think I've actually covered that. If you wanted to free fall.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, shoot, if I free fall, that means it'll, like, my exo will move with me. That was Ulrich. So, let's see here. I have to think a little bit here. Oh, well, first, I'm gonna get on the goddamn horn.
Yeah, I was about to say, free action, you might want to get on the radio. You know, like, port control is like, what's going on up there? We don't have any eyes on target.
We have eyes on target. Port control, we have eyes on target. We have between 12 to 16 hostile air mages in the area. Please issue orders to get civilians. What's the word?
Undercover, maybe?
Undercover. Yeah, undercover.
You know that one enemy has already fired a giant fuck-off bullet down at the ground, so if somebody was standing under that, their day's ruined.
Yeah. So, do that. And that's all I'm going to say to them for right now.
All right.
I'm going to switch over to
our
channel.
While you're busy doing that, they're going to ask, like, they're going to ask you, Roger, Roger, probably like Skywolf 1. They're like,
Skywolf.
We've got, gunners are at the ready on the ground, do you give permission to, not like in a, we want to fire, but they're asking you like are you giving permission to fire even though we can't tell who's up there right now?
No. It's like, hold your fire. Hostiles will be engaging with friendly forces.
Alright. So, they keep searchlights up, but they do not start machine guns. Because they can't see shit.
Yeah.
There are some guys who literally can't see shit. They're in a tiny sandstorm. This is not like a hurricane, but somebody basically used weather control to start, like a thunderstorm on you.
Like, honestly, I was really considering just, like, stopping down, getting a few guys, and using weather control just to change the wind direction so it pushes the clouds back. But I'm all like, I feel like that would ruin the surprise.
Well, that probably would have led to some other stuff.
Yeah. So, I don't know. So, I decided to let it go. But, as I was real paranoid of those clouds. Then, I will switch to, the open channel, so all my guys can hear it. And them, and just be like,
Are you gonna broadcast the fucking, you're in our airspace warning?
Yeah.
Okay. I realize that's what you were gonna do, but I'm just thinking to myself, how very stiff upper lip of you, Wolfgang. She just tried to blow your leg off with an anti-tank gun.
Mm-hmm. With my shield, just ping. Well, not with my shield, but, I got... But, all open channels, and I will give the address of, attention distinguished trio first royal I must politely inform you that you are in, stalled territory space, and you are in... And normally I would ask you to politely leave, but I have a sneaking suspicion that you would not oblige that. So, with all due courtesy, I will show you exactly what it means to hunt a wolf.
Calculating degrees of success here. Sorry, doing something. Okay. There's probably. You can't see each other's faces, but there's somebody with a scope who's probably grinning at you.
Mm-hmm.
Do some math.
It's like,
they did have prep time, but they forgot to do. They sacrificed an attack of opportunity, basically element of surprise, but they did have prep time, so I just realized I should do something because mechanically it makes sense, even though I forgot about it. But I gotta do math, so that's math. This guy's getting a special. Oh, they do have. What the fuck is enhanced?
Delightful meat, cheese, and bread platter was quite filling.
I have 1 degree of success, okay. So that's just straight up bad degree. That's 3 degrees. So that's 35 times 3. Only 105. Damn you, elephant guns. But, okay. So that's your free action.
Okay. I guess I'd like to take a half action to command my men, I suppose.
Alright, if you want to...
Would commanding them make them less likely to die?
Yes, probably. They're flyers, but this is probably the first time you've ever fought a dedicated enemy unit with, like, counter-air training.
Yeah.
Their wheelhouse is to fly up here and bushwhack your guys. So yes, if you give them orders, that will make it less likely that they get bushwhacked.
So I will address the men, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between. It seems that a bunch of foxes think they can hunt wolves, and we are going to prove them wrong. I want everyone to isolate targets and establish wolf pack stratagems. But basically, this just means that instead of just flying in their separate fire teams, is to start linking up and overwhelm the individual party, the ones that break off.
Roll me a command test.
They can have cool tactics names. We can too. The what?
Roll me tactics. Actually, that's what this is. This is how well does your military planning go down?
I'm gonna use a point of luck real quick, because that was a bad roll.
Yeah, you're definitely
not want
to do this later.
Okay, that's a 9. That's better. That's 3 degrees of success. Wait, do I have anything for tactics? Bonuses?
No, we just talked about this. No.
Yeah, no, that's right. No, they don't. So 3 degrees.
All right, it's like, yeah, well, you see your guys immediately start to, like, some of your units were probably scattered by surprise. Some guys probably took some glancing hits while they weren't paying attention. They're like, oh shit, somebody shot me out of a cloud. Literally nobody could expect that. But nobody's down, but you quickly see them, like, they tighten up, they do formations, they start grouping up. Mechanically, all these enemy, freelance and NPCs do have, some special bonuses, but it does look like your forting up is preventing any immediate casualties.
Okay. We gotta come up with some cool tactics and shit. That means I still have a half action left. I don't want to start moving, because that means I'm just gonna have to eat another fucking shot.
Chunk! Giant bolt noises.
Mm-hmm.
If you were close enough, you could see that her gun has the words Ultima Ratio Magistra printed on it.
What? I need to put cool weapon words on my gun now.
Hey, she said you would listen to reason.
Actually, I can just take a fucking pot shot. Why not? I have a shield notch.
Yep.
Does the shield notch actually give me a penalty? I need to double check that real quick.
I don't think it does. I think it just means that you can use guns two-handed.
Yeah. Oh, I cannot use the shield to parry, though.
Yeah, because
I can't parry bullets yet.
You'd have to drop your thing, so.
Yeah, so let's see here.
I'm a bit sad. This character is very much built to also, if you wanted to get up and punch her, she'd be okay.
Oh, no, I totally
too.
plan on getting up and punching her. But, she decided to shoot me with a fuck-off gun. I'm gonna, return the fucking favor.
Okay. Go for it, Chief.
Let's call it, battlefield courtesy.
Sure thing, Chief. Okay, so you're firing, you're not aiming, so you're firing from the hip. She's flying it above you, so it's -20. It's dark, so that's -10.
Mm-hmm. That's -30. Let's see here. You get +5, and I automatically get 1 degree of success, because I have augmented the fuck out of this thing.
Oh, yeah, I know. Wait, do you want to hear all the stuff she has on her anti-tank rifle? Like,
sure, why not?
She's got an oroscope, an extended magazine, a heavy barrel, and a precision stock, which, by the way, means the next attack, because, actually, no, she hit you, so that didn't technically, I don't think that counts for miss, but if she had just flat up missed, then you wouldn't be happy about that, because precision stock would give her another plus.
Yeah, mine is a magnum caliber, heavy barrel, reinforced stock, custom grip, reflex sight, and muzzle brake. And now I need to put, like, cool words on the side of it. I don't know what I'm gonna put, though. Let me just fucking roll, and I'll figure out my modifiers. Oh, that's not bad. Let's see here. So, my warfare range, you said it was -30, right?
Yep.
Wow. That puts me down to fucking warfare range of 1. Let's see here. Then...
Well, what's your... It probably isn't 300, or what's your short range?
50.
Okay, so no bonus there.
Wait, I get a +5 for my warfare range. That's... 6. No, I don't think unless I... Oh, wait. Nope. Wait, no, actually, +1 degree of success, and then I'm gonna companion my companion. I do have one.
Yeah.
She does stuff. Why am I down in the herbs on the advanced players guide? Why am I here?
That's way too far down.
Way too far down. Yep. Follow my tracers. Yep, there it is. That's +10. 1 degree of success. So +10. 16. So I'm sorry. I'm just having like a mini brain fart, because this minus 30 is like messing with me a little bit.
What's your warfare ranged?
31. So that brings
Hmm.
that brings it down to 1. But I get a +10 from follow my tracers. I get a +5 from my gun as it is. That brings me up to 16. So that's still like 2 points over. But I also, so that's 0 degrees of failure. But I then get just a free degree of success.
No, that's on successful tests.
Oh, that's on successful tests. Okay. Well, let me see if I can squeak out like fucking 2 points somewhere. Probably not. Like, nope, probably not. Nope.
Alright.
Yeah, let's see here. Gun. Actually, hang on. Let me check. No, reinforced stock just means I can like fucking pistol whip. I mean, I can fucking butt somebody with it. Reflex sight is what gave me the +5 to warfare range.
Yeah, basically reinforced means if you use it to attack in melee, the gun itself, it increases its pierce and it loses the improvised tag. And if it would be damaged, it has to be damaged twice to be damaged 1 step.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So unfortunately, I miss by literally 2 points. I'm just gonna go with it.
Boom. Wait. Put a bullet down range. Your companion, snaps off a couple shots. They just, poof into some clouds. The enemy does not even flinch. And so we go to the sergeant. You're still in the open channel, so you hear somebody say, Harlow, take care of the body, man. So she's just gonna fucking haul ass. What's run? Times 6?
Run?
Dash, yeah.
Yeah, dash is times 4.
Times 4, okay, so charge is 3.
And you cannot actively defend.
Well, it's the end of the round, so she doesn't have to worry about that.
And it takes a -20, I think, on something?
To be shot.
Yes, yeah, to be shot. That's what it was.
That's... Wow, there's a real problem with making big, heavy targets, unfortunately. So, let's see. She's going to make that going faster, right? No, because she's got a defensive speed boost. Probably should have given her a mobility thing to lay no lab, but she's a big, heavy girl. She's just going to go run and book it 12 meters towards you. Specifically, she's making a beeline for Ulrich. And just, full burn. Flat out.
Okay.
And so, we move to the top again. So that's the lieutenant. 16. She's already braced, so she doesn't have to brace again. This time, she's going to aim. She's got an accurate gun. So that's another +20. So that's +20. She doesn't have to worry about low light because of things. She doesn't have to worry about... Actually, she wouldn't have to worry about the weather anyway, because another thing. So let's see. She still has height because you didn't move, and still has good at shoot at flyman. So that cancels that penalty. So we're just looking at +10 to attack Wolfgang, +20 for aiming, and +10 because it's a far weapon and you're inside her middle range. So that's a 40 miss. You should probably not be having a shooting duel with this woman.
Well, yeah, but I also have to close like 300 meters. That's going to take me, if she doesn't move, literally 6 turns to do.
Oh boy, that's bad. That's an odd one. So that's max degrees of success, and we'll deal double damage if it still hits. So that's 9 degrees of success. Wait, no, you take 2, so 7. That's right. You still take 2 away.
I told my man not to fucking burn the charges. But guess what? I gotta burn through some goddamn charges.
You're gonna try really hard to succeed on a barrier? Yeah, you better.
Yeah,
go for it, buddy. You gotta beat 7.
I mean, actually, I don't know if I can beat fucking 7. See, the +20s?
I mean, she's gonna shoot you in the face, so.
There Oh, there it is on my sheet. Fuck. Looking everywhere. Well, it's 40. Sure. You know what? I got it. I'm just gonna go. For it.
I mean, you're efficient, so you haven't even burned a charge yet, technically.
No. So
Shame.
I'll burn 4 fucking charges then.
See, what you need is her set up because she's got an experimental core and a high efficiency mobility unit.
Well, maybe I'll rip it off her god. Well, I don't know if I'll kill her, but. So the victors go to spoils.
Yes.
Ah! No dice, no!
Party foul, off the table.
Off the table. Let's see, so I'm spending 4. That's hecking 39.
Plus 80. So
let's get a 20 total. Shit. Where's the calculator? I'm just gonna start using the calculator instead of doing this in my fucking head.
Yes, that's why I have a calculator by my computer.
Okay.
How many shots does she have? So
8 degrees of success.
Alright, just enough. Because this isn't faster than light, you can see the muzzle flash, you can see the tracer coming towards you, and you're like,
I do
think
fucking
that's my eyeball. And you just, reach deep into that Ethereum core and pull up multiple layers. You remember all your defensive training and you're like, please, no shoot. And it just slams into your barrier like, somebody throwing a javelin at a soft, squishy straw target. Glittering runic panels of energy just flap away. But you are not struck. She works the bolt again. Chunk, chunk. Giant round flops out. She's got 5 more of these, by the way, because she had the extended mag.
By the way, how quick is it to swap out a core with a backup core?
I think that's that count as like ready/interact, so that's a half action.
Okay. I might have to do a mid-air fucking swap.
Got a hot swap. Yeah, so that's all her.
Okay.
You decided to have a little bit of a rifle duel.
Now it's me.
Yes, now it is Ulrich.
Okay, since I don't want to waste too many actions here, I'm going to rush, flee of foot, so my swing there.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
actually, I forgot to mention. So if you want to, Lucky, you still would have made enough degrees, I think, if you didn't spend a charge. You might have a charge back. I forgot. This is actually a high Aether right now, so everybody's got plus 10 to spellcasting.
Oh.
I forgot to mention that. That's in my notes. My bad.
Okay, so...
Well, charges give me plus... Well, I guess that means
Yeah, you would have had a plus 10, so you would have made the 7 degrees, which you need, so you can have a charge back.
Okay, sure. I'll take that.
Because that was my bad.
High Aether, so... we're about to spell real good here.
I think I have my familiars with me.
Of course you do.
Yeah, they can levitate, so...
So that's 1.
Don't you have like a little basket you keep them in or something?
Probably... how heavy are they?
I mean, they levitate, so not really.
It's just like
give them like a bird, give them like a canary cage. Basically, they can fit in.
Yeah, that's what I'd probably have with me.
Just have that strapped to your back.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, so that's going to get familiar bonus plus 20.
Canary cage is actually pretty
So
small.
that cancels those.
Well, for mining canaries anyway.
I don't want to spend any charges yet.
Do you have a scope on your special Frankenstein rifle? No, you have a reflex sight. That's right.
Yeah,
that's not any magnification. Okay.
Yeah, because I wasn't expecting, fucking get sniped at.
No, you weren't expecting to have a mid-air sniper duel.
Nope. I'm gonna do that thing where I just buy the fucking oroscope and just keep it separately.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, and if I need to put it on my gun, another hot swap. Hot swap.
Okay, so you rushed fleet of foot, 3 degrees success, 3 rounds.
Okay, so now that doubles my movements.
That's good. We're gonna have two trains colliding kind of action.
Let's see, our 8. So that becomes right. So it's my total base movements that's doubled.
Yeah.
Or...
I believe that's what it said. Double check. Fleet of foot. Fleet of foot. Half action. Double your base movement for a number of rounds equal to US. So yes. Whatever your base movement is doubled. Lightning Skirmish lasts for 2 rounds, right? Lucky?
What was that?
Lightning Skirmish lasts for 2 rounds? Yeah.
Yep.
So currently your base movement is increased by 2 and then would be doubled. Marth, you catch all that? Breaking up a little bit. Marth, you are a robot in a little bit there. You might want to double check your microphone and maybe disconnect or reconnect.
Checking.
There you go. That's much
Okay,
clearer.
sound better.
There you go.
Okay. It was just things were kind of breaking up on me.
Yeah, that's fair. It was the same for us.
Okay, so it's pretty much what my base movement is already, and then I get the pluses.
So you're gonna take your +2 to the base movement,
Okay.
or whatever thing, and
so
then you're gonna multiply it.
Okay, so pretty much take the pluses and multiply.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the plus
that's,
adjusts what your base movement is, and then it's like, whatever your base movement is, double it.
Okay, 8 times 2 is 16. I'm going to do since I have a full action, I'm going to dash.
So that's 16 times
4, 64.
Yeah, right. So, are you heading towards one of them in particular, or not?
I'm going to head towards the one who's, I think, heading towards me, so...
Okay, so she's at about 280 meters away. After you dash. There's 2 digits in that. Thank you, dumb fingers.
I don't like this.
Alright, you're now about 216 meters away, as you just... I expect that, Wolfgang, that you'll be able to exchange several more shots with the lieutenant before these two actually get to clash. Speaking of which, that was his full round act. I assume you're telling your companion to move with you, so he doesn't get left behind?
Well, I don't think he can move with me if I dash.
No, you can tell him to move with you, and then he automatically moves with you.
It says in the action, even in excess of their own movement.
Oh, okay. I'll keep him with me then.
Yeah.
To move with me.
So he sticks to you, and rides in your shadow. So that's your full round action. We come back to Wolfgang. Well, his life is flashing before his eyes.
I'm gonna have to do the same thing, because I'm not gonna win a fucking shootout with her. So, I will dash. Let's try and get rid of at least some of those advantages.
I mean, I will also say this. You know that she's got a weapon that has the far tag. That means if you get inside her minimum range, it actually loses bonuses. It's designed to be used very far off. If you get too close with the scope and the weapon, she won't be able to hit you. Won't be able to keep you on target as well.
So if we're not gonna trig, I'm basically just gonna move forward and up then at my max movement.
All right, you're also gonna dash.
Mm-hmm. And
right,
companion will
move with you.
Will move as one as well.
Right. So what's your base movement like right now?
Let me double check this real quick. So I got hecking lightning skirmish as well. This is the last turn it's going to be effective.
And you also got Lightfoot.
Yep. That means my base movement is 4. Let me make sure. I think that's all that Lightfoot does.
Yeah, it swaps it for Wilmot.
Yeah, that's it.
And your initiative is swapped for Wilmot.
That's 6. Do I have anything else again? I don't think so.
That means you can move 24 meters.
Yeah. 24 meters it is.
You can't actively defend this round. Well, it doesn't matter because it will be her the next round, but you still take a -20 until the start of your next turn. So.
Right. So whoop whoop. Well, actually, if I'm moving up, does that mean I actually?
Yeah. If you choose to move up, you guys will probably if you guys are both dashing up to meet them, you're probably going to negate their height advantage.
Okay.
I could figure out the exact differentials, but I just said I don't want to do trigonometry. So, yeah, you guys are persistently moving up so you can be on a level playing field with them.
Yeah, but I was just saying, does, because you were mentioning, updrafts and stuff, does that affect base movement, or is that for, overland speeds?
No, that's just for your height, your max flight ceiling. The air is sucking up, so you can fly 50% higher right now. Which for you is, that means you're up to, 7 clicks or something, I think. If you want to just, put on the burn and reach for the sky, you can. She definitely can't shoot you if you go that high, but...
yeah, I'm pretty sure I need a fucking rebreather at that point. I know just at my max healing, I need air. It's breathable, but it's definitely getting thin.
Yeah,
like,
we discussed this. You take the low pressure penalty, basically.
Yeah. So, maybe if, like, we need to be fucking suicidal? I don't know. Maybe I'll, like, grab her and I'll, like, you know, do some motherfucking chicken. I don't know.
We'll see, but all right.
Let me show you the world I see.
Alright, you're dashing.
I'm dashing.
Alright, so it is the sergeant's turn. She's now 200-something meters away. She'll move. Is her again? 12, I think, is her dash. Yeah, so she'll just keep on scooching towards you. She's got to shed about 100 more meters before she can shoot you. And so we move to the top once again. Shooting McLieutenant.
Oh, God.
Okay, well, she's going to aim, which cancels the penalty for dashing. She lines up on you. Now, this is also another thing. If you make her move, she loses her brace, which means she has to either take another half action to brace or has to risk getting, knocked on her flying ass by the recoil of her gun. She's basically, like, half braced, like, one arm is on the bipod, both legs, like, splayed, basically flying anchor. She's, like, counter-thrusting against the recoil.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, yeah. She has to hold that position right now, otherwise she loses brace, which would be bad. But okay, so don't have height advantage anymore, so that's a minus 20 from flying, or minus 10 from flying now, because she only gets a plus 10 to attack flying targets. You're going to eat her aim bonus, but she's got a plus 10 to specifically attack you. So I think does that even everything? That cancel everything out? Okay. Yeah, she's basically got like a plus 40, but you have like a minus 40 right now, or more. I think everything eats out because you got like cover and stuff. So she'll just because she's also got a plus 10 for close range, but you got light cover because of your shield, which I'm assuming is in front of you.
Yeah, I can't actively defend, but
sure. And you'd obviously get the bonus armor from the shield if she shoots you with something. I'll spend a reroll. I'll spend one of the luck. I really don't want to do that because these guys don't have a hell of a lot of that, but rolling a 97 is bad, so. That was a great reroll. That's an odd 7, so damn it. That's 4 degrees normally, so that reduces down to 2 degrees. But you can actively defend, so I think that still hits you.
Yeah.
I will say, because you're flying straight, basically, your bonus shield armor basically applies everywhere. Yay. So 70. Is that your torso? It might be the tail end of torso, which is good because I think that's your most armored location. So there we go. Hit location. So we flip not 7 to 70. Yes, that is the end of the body.
Oh, thank God.
Your big armory body. So let's see. What am I rolling for this? I knew I had to be good if I wanted to hurt you. Yep. So let's see. Let's scroll through this stuff. Okay, so your tank rifle with the heavy barrel. That's 1d10 plus 8. That is a 9, which means it's critical, so you're taking special damage.
Oh my God.
And so that's 17, pierce 9.
Let's see. So my body has 14 plus 5, so that's 19. What's
9 pierce right now.
So that brings it down to 10. So I take 10 off of that. How much damage was it?
That was... What was it? So it's plus 8 right now? So that'd be 17 damage.
So that brings it down to 7 damage.
Don't forget your toughness.
Toughness, which is 3, so 4.
Alright, you soaked that pretty good.
Yeah, only because it hit my damn torso.
Alright, so now that's special, which is what, 3d10 plus 5? Where's my special damage? Critical weapon damage, that's right. Yeah, 3d10 plus 5. So that's 10, 18 to your torso. Light lacerations and small cuts or punctures in the area, plus 3 bleed. So you take 3 bleed, so your blood count goes down to 97, and when it's your turn next, you lose another 3. So basically, dead on you, center of mass, blam! You may have strained some of your arm bones a little, as just the concussion slams into the front of your shield, punches a hole clean through, slams into your chest. doesn't really, like, over-penetrate your armor, but just, clam, there's a giant crater and blood starts leaking out, and you're like, ow. As you probably glance down, there's, a flattened, like, probably all copper or all steel slug just slapped into your chest, right over your heart.
Great.
You can probably hear the rifle reloading at this distance. 4 shots left. Is she gonna run out of bullets before you make it there? Alrighty, so that was her go. 13. Mr. Ulrich.
Okay.
You are currently about... What is it? Here's 12, right? So that's 2 teams. Was it 216? So.
Because I remember right down 216.
Yeah, okay, so now she's about 204, because she's also dashing towards you at full speed.
Okay, my only action is dash.
Oh, alright.
So that puts me at, I think, 140 meters.
Type the right number. Yeah, that's 140.
Yep.
Alright, that's a full action. Hey, Wolfgang, how you doing, buddy?
I'm gonna die.
Don't feel bad. She's not even using explosive rounds right now. She's just shooting you with regular bullets.
Let's see.
Also, I would like to point out, she did have to luck reroll into that, so she's spending a limited resource there.
Yeah, you know what else is a limited resource? My health.
You're a big boy. You only lost 3 wounds. By the way, remember to take off that bleed. You're bleeding.
4.
Your blood floats away from your body and, starts half freezing and clattering to the ground.
Yeah, if he only does like 4 rounds of damage like per time I get there, yeah, I'll be dead before I get there. No, it's gonna take me even longer because I don't have lightning skirmish anymore. I guess I'll go for the fucking height advantage and just keep moving towards her.
Alright, you're still ascending.
Yeah.
Okay, you continue to dash.
Because I literally have no other option.
Alright, Sergeant goes.
So, it's just 24 now? Yeah, it was 30 last time, now it's just 20. No, it's just... It was 24 last time, now it's 16. Meters.
70, 60, 60. That does unfortunately mean you got about 150 meters to go before you're inside her short range, and she gets less good at shooting you. Yeah, I mean, like, if you wanted to go straight up, but that's still pretty far to get cloud cover.
Yeah, I know, we're like middle of a fucking dead zone. We can't get cover anywhere.
Well, you guys could have tried to move back and probably, like I mentioned this before, you could have, moving forward or back, you could have tried to find, like, smokestack cover. That would have made them reposition to try and, like, shoot you or something. You could have, like, lured them closer.
Yeah, but still, we would still have to get to them while they shoot at us. Because if we go to the smokestack, yeah, we have cover, but that means we can't go anywhere. We have to stay in that cover. They can just, like, move around and just, take the shots. The best thing we could have done was to basically go to ground, but then, as I said, we would lose all, like, air mobility at that point, and as I said, that starts involving civilian buildings and resources. So yeah, no. We are literally locked into this. We have to do or die. And from the looks of it, probably gonna die. Sorry, Ulrich.
Okay. She's not good with anyway, it's the sergeant's turn. She comes to a bit of a halt as you are finally in range after all this time. That's not how you spell elephant. Because yes, Ulrich, you can see in a shocking amount of impressive power, she deadlifts a large gun. At first you think it's a shotgun, but no, the bore is way too large for that. That's got to be an elephant gun. And levels both barrels at you.
Oh,
and
boy.
she's gonna slap over the thing to do a linked attack. No, okay, so this is critical. There's no accurate or anything, so this is just gonna be raw ranged minus 20. She's gonna make a linked attack, so.
Fun.
Yeah. Linked roll. Linked rating. She's gonna make a linked attack. Attack is normal, but additional hit per the US rules number. Okay. So, technically she can hit you twice, but we're gonna roll. Go. Blam. 61. That misses. Boom. Much farther than you thought elephant gun rounds could reach, but still not very accurate. A couple of elephant gun slugs sail towards you. Well, unfortunately, that was still only a half-action attack, because she used both barrels, so she's going to pivot to the other one in her offhand. And she's ambidextrous, so she doesn't take offhand penalties. This was a lot cooler, though, when you weren't dashing at her. Yes. You're not entirely sure how much of it is armor plating, but you think her biceps are about the size of your head. Wow.
Okay.
No, she's a big girl, but she misses both times. That's a 42 out of 30. Boom. She seems a little bit miffed that this tactic did not work as she planned. As she dumps 4 giant elephant, round slugs, but just, you're moving too fast. They sail over and behind you, off into the ground somewhere.
Okay, then.
How many rounds have we been doing this? I probably should have kept better track. This is, 4 or 5?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, I know how many it is, because that's how many shots she took. So she took, 3 shots? Is it 3 shots or 4 shots? I think it's only 3.
To me? Yeah, to me? 3.
Yeah, okay, so it's been only 3 rounds, because that's how many shots she's taken. Alright.
Yeah, first one I evaded, second one I buried, and the third one I had to actually take.
Alright, so this is start of the 4th round.
Yeah.
So this is going to be my third final round for fleet of foot.
Okay. That's important. It may not be her job to actually shoot you. It may just be her job to suck up your time with a very scary long-range gun for several minutes. Anyway. Well, it's her go again. There's no reason not to. We're going to aim and we're going to shoot. So this is just raw warfare range. They're really good at that, but don't actually. No, I think you're gonna win that one because you're passive. No, that's not enough degrees. Your passive barrier loses that. So she did still pass her roll, but because of modifiers, you managed to block it. This one deflects off your shield properly, just skips away. Whoops! I didn't mean to do that. Another,
Sorry,
that's 4 shots. She has 3 shots left.
Oh god, I need to throw up some cover or something.
Yeah, sadly, you are not the right type of mage for that. If you guys were air mages, you might have smokescreen or something. It'd be a little hot, but you are carrying smoke grenades. You could make a smoke cloud centered on you.
Yeah, but I said it's raining, windy. It wouldn't.
It wouldn't last too many rounds.
Would a flare gun be bright enough to at least break line of sight temporarily?
No, you'd have to do some kind of cult shot there.
Well, no, if I just basically fire it so between us, it'd go off.
I mean, it's bright, but do remember. I mean, not that you necessarily know this in character, but out of character, she does also have an horoscope on you. So, yeah, that
enchant the flare gun bullet.
I don't think any of the moves would work in this time frame. I'm not saying that theoretically you couldn't do some alchemy on a flare, but that would be a time span of minutes, not seconds.
No, I mean if I was to enchant it with just explosive, wouldn't it then become a magic? Well, I don't know. I guess the flare wouldn't be magical then. Really wouldn't.
It would just explode. You could try that if you wanted to make it pop into a smoke screen in front of you. That means you stop dashing. But at least, because that would take advantage of the fact that she can't move right now. If she braces and, if she stops to brace, she can't move and fire then. So if you put a smoke screen in front of you like that, you reduce your speed, but that would basically be total cover between her and you. She can't see you through it. I guess the problem would be how many rounds would you get out of that, which would not be many.
And as I said, the smoke screen won't last, because, this is the problem, is that the smoke screen is just stationary. If I move from it, guess what? I get shot again. God, I should have just took some healing spells.
God, they're yelling about DVC channel again. Nobody's in general, guys. General is literally just nothing but you guys asking. I'm gonna type it. I don't understand it. Seriously. You're already using general as voice, guys. I'm sorry to detract from the game. But, anyway.
I feel like you're going to be slightly distracted here, so I'm going to think more.
I'm done. I'm on topic. What you got?
Everything, all my spells are all will and meters. And how far am I away from her still? A couple hundred still meters?
Yeah, you're about 250. You're a little more than that, but we don't need to necessarily jump into
Oh!
What's up? You find something?
God damn it, I can't fucking... Oh! I forgot I had double time, but guess what? That takes a half action. I don't have anything to give me... Wait. No, because then my companion couldn't move its one with me. Son of a bitch. Do I have anything to... Actually, hang on a damn second here. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Damn it. I can't go. That's only once per session. God. Hecking. Damn it.
Well, since our recording timer is just ticking down, what you got? What are you thinking?
Sorry, I'm just, like, I'm going through all these options, all my gear, see if I can finagle something that doesn't scream of, hey, yeah, I totally know she has an horoscope.
I mean, well, I'm mostly just trying to prevent disappointment with that, because, like, okay, I'll blind her, I'll shoot a flare in her face, whatever, but then it's like, but, like, you'd still be shot in that case.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't want to waste everybody's time with you trying to do something that won't work. It does give her a +20 to spot you, but it doesn't actually, does it actually defeat concealment? I don't know. Let me double check since it's been there. Yeah, no, it's just +20 to see you, and then add certain tags when attacking you. So, yeah, concealment would work, if you can break line of sight. Actually, this is a very good question. Didn't both of you guys buy decoy?
No, I don't have decoy.
Or is it okay, so just Ulrich has decoy. Alright. That is, unfortunately, that is kind of why decoy is a cheap-ass magic spell. This is one of the things that it would be really good for.
It's only 50.
I mean, I have 50, but there's no, like, reason I cast decoy. Okay, it's gonna, stand there.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. Let me actually look at the decoy spell. Decoy, spellcasting action. Decoy is active, you gain tested, and roll to determine if the decoy isn't real. There probably should be some commentary on if it can, like, what it looks like it's doing.
Because it just says false image, reflection, or sound. So, like, a false image, well, I don't know, I guess maybe
yeah,
reflection.
I think technically, like, because the problem why it's not probably spelled out is because that's already, like, a giant block of text. But I imagine what the decoy looks like when it's active is it looks like it's doing whatever you're doing, so it's harder to tell, which one is real. Yeah. It's just, the reason why it's a cheap one is because it's like, there's only two of you, as opposed to the more advanced version, Mirror Image, which is like, well, there's a fuck ton of you, so.
Yeah, but I'm also honorable. I don't know. It's like, I'm not afraid to do, God. I do have fucking 50 experience just hanging fucking out. No, fuck, I have to. Omega, can I use my last 50 experience to buy decoy?
Sure. You had plenty of time to practice and train. Sorry, I dropped my chair's falling apart again. But you had plenty of time to practice and train. It would have, this was a thing that was led up to, was you would have been in basically open skies.
So, I'll copy this stuff over here in a second, but
okay.
Let me at least get decoy going. So make I'm going to quick cast this. Okay. Make it a free action. This is successful. This last number 9, decoy active, +20 on camouflage deception to hide or obfuscate location.
And they have to make an awareness test to basically realize which one's the fake.
Or you can just take a 50-50 shot. I want to probably... Well, it's going to be a -20 already just because of goddamn rushing. You get a +10 because it's high ether. Let's spend a single charge then.
You can spend that charge you got back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's brought up the we need voice channel suddenly again. I know I had those muted, but nobody's fucking doing anything in them. I don't understand whatever. I don't understand these people. We might have to just suck it up and do it, and then I'll just be like, well, hey, there's another... Okay, make sure you yell to mods or something, because I'm gonna mute it, because I'm never gonna be listening to you guys on a voice call in this server when I can't speak, so...
Yeah.
There's literally no reason for me to look at it. Anyway. How'd you do on your decoy, buddy?
Oh, I rolled a 4. I took this one, so it's...
Sadly not a crit, but...
Yeah. So I spent 1 charge, so that's +20 -10, so that goes up to wheel 50. So that's 4 degrees of success.
All right, so for 4 rounds, you have a decoy.
Yep.
And that was a free action, so...
Yep. And I'm assuming I'm going to use the reflection aspect of it, and it's just going to basically, fly next to me, and we're going to keep fucking dashing.
All right. So you dash
Well,
another 16.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
244. All right. And now... So that means that bonus would also apply to your decoy. So it's harder to shoot, so... Okay. Well, let's use... so, 9s.
Oh, and I lose another 3 blood.
Yeah, that's not going to catch up to you anytime soon, but might be a little bit annoying. Oh, actually, wait. Was it even your turn when we were discussing this tactic? I'm wondering.
I think it was.
Did we miss Ulrich in there, or did you just dash again, right? You just close
well,
the distance?
there was... Yeah, well, let's see here.
She shot at you. We rolled up to the next shot at Wolfgang. Did we even roll next? How many? Did I fire 4? Yeah, I fired 4 times and I whiffed. It missed your shield.
You did the commander guy who was shooting the anti-tank rifle at Wolfgang.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, did we technically...
Did you dash again?
Yeah, did we technically skip you?
I think I was probably going to dash again. I think,
okay.
Oh yeah, and since this lightning skirmish is off, so I would only go like 48 meters this time.
Okay, so I'll keep that in mind. At least.
It was like, last time I remember was like 140, but then she moved.
No, she did not move last time. She dead stopped and shot at you twice.
Okay, so
what did you say you're at now? 48?
So, yeah, I'm going at 48, so that's going to put me at 92.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, that's good. So we definitely didn't do that math, so we may just continue your dash. Not a big deal since you're both allied, but I just was like, wait a minute, did Ulrich actually do anything in this? I think we jumped from Lucky being concerned about being shot to him actually responding a little quickly. But it's okay.
Fleet of Foot is out. I can only go my regular speed unless I renew it.
So technically that should be a half action to switch, right? Yeah. So basically, because they're very expensive, rather than ditch 2 elephant guns into the ocean, she basically takes a half action to hot swap, switch out, and unslings an automatic rifle.
Oh boy.
Which also looks heavily customized, but wasn't as cool as my fucking double elephant gun trick. I'm a little annoyed that didn't go anywhere, but I did special damage to Lucky, which is, I think, the first time that's ever happened.
Yes.
No, I've taken special damage before.
Oh, okay.
I think it was from that other thing.
I think I got the...
So you are at 92.
Because I've had bleed and stuff before.
Okay.
I think you got hit from special damage from my thing.
Possible.
I don't know, and maybe like the Chimera, I think maybe did it to me.
Okay, so vertical grip and extended magazine don't matter right now. It's just reflex sight and a muzzle brake, so that's a +5. Alright, now I gotta do math. So, you're inside her short range now. She can't do a full action to full auto right now, luckily, because she had to switch guns. So it'll just be a single, wild shot. Got a reflex for +5. She does not have any special things, so technically she takes the -10 from the low light.
Right.
Yeah, it's accurate. Okay.
Right,
I'm doing math. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll roll first. I'll do like you said, I'll roll first. No, 75 is over her normal amount, so let's see. It'll be 55. She's still at -20. So yeah. Basically, in a scramble, she unslings her automatic rifle and takes it like a snapshot. Flies over your ear or something. Not even counting your dash, she's, and stuff, she's way over her to hit. But now she has an automatic weapon drawn.
Okay. Fun.
Alright, that was both her actions. So it's the tippy toppers again. This is number 5, right? Yeah.
Sniper McSniper 10.
Sniper McSniper 10 extreme. Well, she's gonna roll awareness first to be like, okay, which one's real? That's a 79. That is not your perception. Do you have any pluses in awareness? No. Okay, so that's way over perception, so she can't tell. Lucky, odds or evens?
Evens.
Alright, that's odds, so she is shooting at you. She'll take half action.
I want my 50 experience back.
No, that's not gonna work. That's a 77. No, she's got 2. She's got This is her 5th shot, right? So she's only got 2 bullets left after this, and she's only got a couple of luck points left, so no. So she looks like she was trying to dial in the shot at you, Wolfgang, but still doesn't quite get it, and just flies in between you and your decoy. Sonic boom crashes by. There's another chunk.
Thank you, -20.
Okay.
So, that's Wolf. No, Ulrich next. 13, that's right.
Yeah. Okay,
I've just realized I
time,
forgot to label.
Automatic rifle. I'm going to use decoy, rushing it just so I don't get shot. Hopefully.
I need to label my initiative totals here. I think this is about the level of challenge I wanted from a 2-on-2 fight.
Level of challenge being completely one-sided?
Well, that's how most of the enemies have felt about you. And actually, honestly, it's more like 1 out of 4 sides because I also completely fucked myself over with how terrible the range on elephant guns was. Though I'll admit, I did technically randomly figure out 300. Okay, so that's 4 turns.
Then I'm going to... Well, since that's
You rushed for half, right? For free,
20,
rather.
yeah, only, use that for free, I rushed it. So now, let's see here, that's 92 meters, there will be 20 meters. 24 meters is good, but that's still going to take me time. Oh yeah, how many spells can you rush? Just one?
I think you can rush as many as you like. You're just taking a big risk every time. You can only cast a given spell once per round.
Once. Okay, I'm going to rush Fleet of Foot.
Okay. You're taking your life into your hands every time.
Yes. For death situation. I don't want to get shot. I want to get close.
I want to cast Harden on my skin.
Nope, can't do that.
I know.
I was just thinking about looking for something in the rules, and then I forgot it. Wait, no, got it back.
I'm going to dash.
Dash.
All right, well, that worked out pretty good for you last time.
That
you can tell that she's
48
trying to get her gun sights on you, and you're just too fast, too furious.
48 meters, so that's going to be 52, 44 meters now.
Yep. Oh, you're getting awful close. I've suddenly realized something, that there might be a flaw in your close quarters build, Wolfgang.
What?
Because Ulrich is not close quarters necessarily, but boy howdy is he trucking fast.
Yeah. Hey, Lucky, get Fleet of Foot. It'll help you a lot.
That's more spells I have to fucking cast.
I know. This does shed some light on balance. This is actually how the war is supposed to go. You're supposed to be horribly fucked if you can't counter engagement range. I need to figure out some better rules for cover and landscaping and stuff in the air, though.
-20 for flying plus -10 for light.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, it's true. They set up an ambush on you for a reason. It does make me think though. I probably do need to figure out better ways to handle environmental stuff in the air, so you're not quite so naked up here.
Yeah, because that -30 takes my 50 to a 20.
And I don't know, maybe shooting a flying target's too hard. Maybe that should only be -10. I'll think about that after we're done.
Yeah. But then it still makes
yours
sense there. You don't really have stables or area to stand on while firing a gun.
Yeah.
Okay. Dash, so it's Wolfgang's turn. What's going on?
Yeah, we're just typing. Wolfgang?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's you. In case you forgot. Ulrich is dead.
So, let's see here.
Now, the beauty of it is
how...
that not only did she not tell which one was decoy, and that she missed, so your decoy's still there.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But, Ulrich, how far are you from,
I'm 44 meters away from my own target.
And what is your... Let me, I might do something to...
Originally, we're 300 meters away from both. So if I moved about, let's see here, I think 70, What's this other things?
Okay, so just fleet of foot just doubles your days. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you trying to get into like what melee range with her or something? That's a bad idea.
That's
Okay. So at this distance, I can say she's definitely wearing like heavy body armor and has what appears to be a spear slung over one shoulder. So she's not just she's definitely not a far range combatant.
Well, actually, I have. Well, what do you think about is trying to get close enough since I do have a different weapon I want to try out.
Okay. He wants to get close and use a weapon that's better so he can actually shoot people.
Yeah. Because I decided to bring on the trench gun.
Wait, I should save my calculated history because I could figure out better how close you are to the second target, since that's what I think what Lucky was asking.
Yeah, 300 meters, and I was moving, let's see, I moved first 8 meters, and second round was, I think, 64.
Yes, so
third
2
round,
fleet of foots,
and then I think Lucky skirmished, figure after the second round, so it should have only been 48 for the third.
Yeah, so I think you're about 100 meters away from her still?
And this, oh yeah, from the original, yeah, I think so.
Anyway, let's not focus. What do you plan on dealing with there with her, basically?
Oh well, no. I'm just gonna make Marth go a bit faster.
Okay.
Let me double check this real quick. Okay, so I can do that, and yeah. So I'm gonna use communications, command, control, and intelligence for my technician to use once per session. Do an officer command first reaction, and I'm gonna do double time.
Okay.
So basically, all allies who can see and understand me, it's base movements times 5 instead of times 4 while dashing into the end of my next turn. So hopefully, with him in his fleet of foot, he can get to whatever
engagement range he's looking for.
Yeah, whatever engagement range he's looking for, and I can get a little bit closer. Like, I don't really want to use it, but like it's because it's only once per session. But I'm just like, I don't know what else I'm going to use it on. I need to get close.
Okay, so you issue double time through the radio.
Through the radio, and I'm gonna keep on dashing, and my companion's gonna keep on keeping on with me.
Okay.
So I move
16,
20 meters.
20 meters now. Right, 5. How far away were you last we checked? Was it 2 something? No, it was 260 and then you moved again. That was 16 last time, so we're at 240. Now it's 20. So you're at about 220. Okay.
Okay.
So you dash, it's a full action. I've realized that as cool as it is to shoot at you from a long way off, I don't necessarily like a lot of the empty action turns, so I think I'm going to, like I said, I definitely want to try and design a little bit better. This is not very entertaining to listen to, sorry audience, and probably not entertaining to play. This basically just charging in straight lines through the air. So I will definitely have to work on this from like a game design standpoint.
It was pretty much all dashing. I realized my shot does crap.
Though I think that...
How many rounds have we gone so far?
We're in the middle of the 5th.
Okay, 5th.
Yeah, so I got a thing. But first, let's see, that was Wolfgang, right? So, once you face the sergeant gets to go, you're still dashing. Well, you're here, so she might as well get a full auto attempt in, so that's plus 20, so she's back to her normal skill reading.
And your decoy up.
You do have a decoy, so hold on. That means she needs to make an awareness test. Okay, so she doesn't pass that. So, Ulrich, odds or evens?
I'm going to say, odds.
That is a 3. She's aiming at your decoy.
Okay.
Let me actually double check her abilities. It's been a little since I looked at her. Does she get... Okay, so she does get an extra plus 10 on auto fire, so that's plus 30. Plus 5 for reflex. You are flying, so that's minus 10. She doesn't have anything to compensate for low light, so that's minus 20. And then dashing for another minus 20. So she's at what? Plus 40, minus 40? Yeah, it's okay. So this comes out to a mostly flat. She still gets her reflex sight bonus, but a mostly flat of her warfare ranged. That's a 16. So she wastes 4 bullets on your decoy, and just it fizzles out and basically dies as she wastes around shooting at it. She seems mildly upset by this.
Okay.
She grimaces a little. Frowny faces. Alright, so we're at the top of the 5th. And I figure we're also coming up on close to 3 hours. I could split the recording, but I actually think this is a good point to kind of switch up the dynamics on this. Wolfgang, you start getting radio commissions, which is basically like, man, these we're not losing any ground, but these ladies are hard to catch, Captain, because they're all basically using like customized mobility units and stuff. They're very advanced. And because of the Foxhunt formation, they actually have bonuses to evade and chase. So they're at a more technical advantage than your guys are. But you're preventing you're not hearing any reports of like anybody on the ground being struck. So at the very least, they're not doing anything other than keeping your guys busy. So their flight lieutenant has worked through about 5 of her shots. She seems well, you're still at a couple hundred meters. You probably can't see her facial expression really good. If Ulrich were to look over there, you'd notice that she's probably stopped smiling and, gone to a more neutral expression as you fail to die, but also this isn't very entertaining. And also, in case that wasn't clear from what I mentioned that one of them is ambidextrous earlier, these guys do actually have quirks.
I wonder if she has Thrill Seeker.
Well, since you guessed it, I'll tell you yes. Since you came out and said it, yeah, no, this isn't fun for her anymore. So, she kind of drops her brace and slings her rifle for a second, and as a free action, I'll say that your adjutant's on the radio. She's like, enemy encrypted traffic. They're talking internally. She could probably try and roll crypto to crack it if you wanted.
She doesn't have it trained. So yes, intelligence is always key.
Yes.
She has a radio pack. Does it give her a bonus to crypto?
No, I don't think so. It gives her a bonus to range on how far her radio transmissions go.
Yeah. If I didn't fucking write it down, it doesn't get radio. Oh yeah, they are not trained in it. Yeah. They don't even get a bonus. They're just trained in it.
So whatever her int is.
Int. I did buy a bonus for that. Oh. Well, it's not a full degree of success, but 21 out of 25.
Alright, so you do pass. Alright, so you kind of... It's a little garbled because of the range and, like, the stuff, but she's got a proper radio kit.
Omega literally came up with the same idea I did. It's great.
That's funny. I was wondering if that was collusion or just...
No. I was
just both had great minds.
Yep. Hang on, I'll just rename it here real quick.
Alright, since you're looking at it, I was typing something back. Alright, so she passes, so kind of like garble, you get like... It basically sounds like, I'll do this. I'll cover my face thing. So she's like, I'm not having fun anymore. And then she's like, I think it's time for us to go. So basically, they're gonna break the fight. Basically be like, she follows it up with like a general mission, which is, like, Flying Foxes regroup, Vector Alpha 7 or something, like, even though they're on encrypted radio, she obscures what her vector is. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not gonna fucking pursue.
Alright. Okay, so they break off. I assume you probably get some reports like, Captain, they're breaking off. And you're like, no, everybody hold. Don't do anything dumb.
Alright, no, that's not honorable, that they're retreating. I was about to say, as soon as they get fucking clear of my guys, I was gonna call Port Patrol and have them fucking fire on them, but no.
Alright, basically, most of them disappear into the fog, but you can see, and especially Ulrich can see, that the flight lieutenant working here basically goes, and she appears to have a... You notice, Ulrich notices because he's closer, and if you want to switch to field glasses, see what she's fiddling with up there, you can look closer. It looks like to the front of her body armor, she's got a flare strap, which she just kind of pops and lights. You get some ground calls, which are like, basically, port control comes up and is like, we're getting reports of a flare in the sky. Is that hostile? Should we engage? And at the same time, unless you cut them off, your guys are going to be like on the radio back, and they're like, yeah, confirm, we got eyes on that. That's an enemy target because you got scouts and stuff looking. So, if you do nothing, your ground control will belt out fire at her as she kind of reorganizes.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them to to not engage.
Right.
Enemy is retreating.
Okay. All right. So they follow you've got command authority, so you follow it. So basically, she lights the flare and kind of does what you were thinking about doing earlier, and kind of like free falls low towards the bay. At this point, both of you guys should make me awareness tests. Don't take your -10 for it being low light, because this is a big thing to see.
Got a 21.
I kind of wanted this to get a little bit closer, but I probably shouldn't have randomly generated the range. We should have just manually set it closer at like 200 or something.
Yeah. As I said, like...
Yeah, there was a little bit of, like... I think the idea with sound is just I didn't do enough to prepare the game design space. I didn't realize that, man, you guys are really going to be just running at each other in a blank corridor.
Yeah, well, I tried, like, that's why I tried, like, can I, like, is there a good chance for me to shoot her? I'm like, no. So, my only option is I have to literally run at her until I get something I'm good at. Because if I fall back, guess what?
I probably should have just told you guys you were at, like, close to cloud layer or something.
Yeah.
So you could have, like, gone up into the clouds and been more entertaining.
Yeah. We picked
I think that was
also kind of our fault, because I think I actually said we were at 1,000 meters or something.
Yeah, you also did deliberately pick a central height level, which in future we should think about. That's not how you guys would fly, because, as we've discovered, that's a really shitty position to be in.
Yeah, either you want to be really high or really low.
Yeah, you want to be low, where there's ground cover to be lost in, or you want to be high, where there's cloud cover, so...
Yeah, because either way, it was going to be a pain for us to get, like... If we were low to the ground and we could have gotten to ground cover
I mean,
easily,
I will say this, if you guys had actually decided to free fall, other than the fact that wasn't on mission, I double-checked. Apparently the rate of fall for, like, a flying vehicle is, like, 200 meters in a period of time. It's a pretty fast fall, so, like, you guys could have gotten towards the ground fast.
Yeah. But, again, then I was thinking about, I don't know if I want to, like... She's using a big fuck-all gun, and there are civilians... We're not, like, rules of engagement. You are not supposed to, like, engage in civilian spaces.
Well, it's true. I mean, you didn't know what her... well, actually, you could have guessed, because she had the opportunity of surprise. She could have had you dead to rights with that storm, basically. Just called up a storm and shot at you out of a cloud. She decided to announce herself first. So you possibly could have tried to, like, reverse psychologize her, but you're also honorable, so, like, what if she decided to shoot at you? You know? Or what if their job was to bomb people, and, well, she just decided to bomb you while you were on the ground? That wouldn't be good.
Yeah. So,
did you make awareness test?
20... Oh, man. 2 degrees of success, because I got a plus 10. Yes, I did.
Alright. So you guys, now that you're no longer, like, tunnel vision focused on people trying to shoot you, you do realize that, hey, is there a big fucking shadow outside the port? And yes, coming out of this fog, a little bit roughly, you look like this plane appears to have boned them a little bit as much as it's boned you, but it's a big, heavy ship that appears to be riding okay in the rough seas. Yeah, there's like, that's got to be like a battle cruiser or something. It's big, it's got huge guns, which are rotating to elevation, and they're going to take some shots. And let's see how accurate they are. You probably get a report from like one of the stories, just like, wait a minute, I get a radar contact, what's that? They're a gun crew, that's probably okay. Yeah, so one of your destroyers in port is just clattered by a heavy gun barrage. You know, conning tower explodes. Smoke shoots up. The coastal guns have realized there's a target out there, so they immediately start firing back. But basically,
I was about to say,
the enemy mages are retreating that way, so not following them is a really smart idea. Hey, guess what? Because she's a thrill seeker and she's also really good at doing dangerous flying, if you had tried to follow her, her command would have been, hey, cruiser, fire, like, over my shoulder on my position. And don't actually hit me, or I'll be quite cross. So, that was smart of you. Good job.
Discretion, better part of valor.
So, basically, now, it does not appear that they are making accurate firing on the supply ship. But, basically, you know, port controls lit up, all your allied units are lit up. You've got command authority, what's your decision? There's an enemy battlecruiser out there slugging it out. One of the destroyers has been disabled, it looks like. The other one is, like, gonna take them a couple of minutes to get unentangled from port.
Well, we have coastal guns, right?
Yeah, the coastal guns are firing. They're pretty big, so... a battlecruiser is fast and heavily gunned, but not as armored. They can't probably afford to stay here in a slugging match. it'll be a few minutes, but like I said, you've probably got some light cruisers patrolling up and down the coast. They'll probably be, like, making a beeline here. The question is just, like, okay, they're not going to stay here and slug it out, but what do you want to do? They're taking some shots.
I would like to, like, maybe try and take out their fucking guns, but I don't know if I can fucking do... Wait. Sure I can. How far is that cruiser? How is that battle cruiser?
They're out over the water. Let's see. You're over the inlet itself.
Mm-hmm.
They got to be up close because they can't see shit, but they got a fuck ton of range on those guns. So spitting distance for them is probably a good 500 meters. So that's probably about where they are from you because, like I said, you guys are basically directly over the port now.
Well,
you want to try and make some called shots to disable some gunners?
Yeah, I need explosive. Like, I can use explosive rounds to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna get on my horn, all Skywolves, with explosives rounds, and chant and fire on those guns.
Oh, prep artillery spells. Yes.
Yeah.
Now we're Tanya. By the way, in case you didn't pick up on this was basically me attempting to reverse Norden you. You're defending the port. The enemy airdrops in and tries to take out the defenders and get those coastal guns, but you guys weren't completely clattered by the enemy attack.
No, we literally fought to a stalemate.
Yeah. Which I will say is slightly disappointing, because you never got to see, but I went all out on the close-up, too. She has Duelist, and she has a couple of weapons.
Mm-hmm. But,
she would have been ready for a scrap. That's why, like I said, I'm kind of disappointed I decided to randomly put the range quite so far away. I should have been more focused on it. But that's the discussion we got out of it, so.
This is a playtest thing. Oh yeah, no, I actually do got to roll, so...
Yeah, roll for degrees of success to see what your blast rating is.
Yep. No, if she's gonna do something fucking impressive, I am too. I got a backup core. If I drain my core, do I go into immediate free fall, or is there gonna be a moment where I still have, like, that half hour, that extra, that little bit because my thing's efficient?
If you have actions free, you can do the swap, but no, like, you immediately lose power. I guess technically if you were thrusting, like, straight up already, if you were ascending, you'd have, like, a parabolic arc, but otherwise, no. You basically lose thrust immediately and gravity starts pulling you down.
That's what I'm gonna do then. Parabolic arc.
Okay.
Straight up, I'm gonna drain my entire fucking core, which is 4 charges.
Right.
Okay.
Plus 80.
So Lucky's trying to disable the gunners.
Well, yeah. What are you doing with that? With those pluses?
Explosive round.
Okay, well, that's gonna be some big boom.
Mm-hmm. It's like he wants to give a parting gift. Oh.
Yes.
I rolled an 11.
Oh my. Well, how many fuck tons of degrees did you get?
Oh god, I got like a fuck ton because I rolled. We're still in high.
That does mean that you're unlikely to get anything bad.
This kind of makes me sad, though.
Let's see.
I don't know. Well, but let's see. Let's see. So plus 80. That's 120. 120. I rolled an 11.
That would be.
Actually, I'm also gonna spend. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna also spend a point of blood. Actually, I'll spend more blood.
Oh, right. You can do that. Should you do that while you're still bleeding?
Sure. Why the fuck not?
Okay.
I'm angry right now.
It's true. A woman did just shoot at you several times and then decide to leave.
Yeah. I demand satisfaction, and this satisfaction is going to be huge fucking explosion.
Alright, well, I rolled like a 49, so you've got a lot of minuses, so that's going to go all the way back down to wind. There's a dramatic wind blowing as you do this. It's super cool.
80. So that bumps me up to 131. So yeah, that's 12 degrees of success.
Alright, well that's blast 12. So normally when you engage super heavy vehicles, very large things like, giant battle cruisers, you as a lone infantryman can't really do anything. The exception to that is if you are trying to do called shots on certain areas, and the GM says you're using a weapon capable of doing that sort of thing. Hey, you got a giant blast gun. You can definitely try and make a shot. Now, you're going to have to call your shot because you're trying to hit specifically a gun turret, but
yeah,
it's a very large target, so you got like a plus 30 on that.
Mm-hmm.
So, call shot is minus 10? Or no, is it 20 or 30? Fuck, I don't know. I don't know it. It's like 11 o'clock at night now.
Let's just say it's -20, because I really want to hit it.
Yeah, it's -20, so.
Wait, actually, hang on. Let me just type in cold shot.
It's in a table somewhere.
I think it's -20 for...
That's a called shit. Good job, me.
Don't worry, I tried like 3 times to spell elephant and didn't make it.
Let's see here. Oh, here it is. Called shot. Make an attack as normal. Does any specific target you want to hit, not a random location. With -20. If you pass, you hit the designator. If you miss entirely. One may designate a specific sub-area, but increases it to -40.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that with a super heavy vehicle. That's like if we were using the advanced hit rules and you were like, I don't want to just hit him in the face, I want to hit him in the ear.
Okay, so I'm pre-spending luck.
Okay.
So I'm taking that +20 immediately.
Alright, do remember, you can only spend luck once on a check.
Yep, that's fine.
Well, you have height for +10.
Yep, so that's +30. I mean, I'm technically at +10 because of that. And because I'm doing a called shot, it's not a large target, right?
No, it is. It counts. Listen, the guns this things you have that you're shooting at, these turrets are bigger than you. No, you still get your fucking bonus. They're huge.
Okay. That's what, another +10?
No, that's a total of +30, so.
Oh, okay.
Very large.
+30. Oh, very large. Okay.
Yeah, it's huge.
So...
Like, it even says this in the rules. Like, if you're a infantry-sized person shooting at one of these vehicles, like a Zeppelin or a giant boat or something, it's like, no, you get a huge bonus.
Mm-hmm.
This is like hitting the broadside of a barn. You're already taking the -20 into account for hitting a slightly smaller target on a barn.
Makes sense. Alright. Companion action. I don't want her to follow my trick. Well, she doesn't have fucking explosive rounds, so she couldn't do it. But let's see if she can do anything else.
Is it a general companion action to Overwatch for you, or is that a specific one? Is that a talent?
Cast the spell, spotter. No, that's for indirect fire, eyes up, support item.
Yeah, no, indirect fire would be like if you're on the ground and you can't see through like the waves or some shit, but you're like, I know my bullet can reach this thing. Like technically they're probably doing indirect fire to like shell the town or shell the port.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she can't really do anything. Oh well.
Okay.
Oh well. Well, no.
By the way, Ulrich, what are you doing while this is in here? Your captain's being a lunatic who's flying up and at the enemy, cruiser.
Right. What am I? Oh, he is my captain.
He's also, you can probably tell. You've got good eyes. He's bleeding a little bit. It's possibly why he might be so mad.
Right. He is bleeding. Because heal him.
Yeah. I mean, your companion could try and heal him. I don't know. I'm just wondering, like, what's your general disposition there? Are you, like, gonna, like, maybe follow a little close? You gonna, like, wait down here to catch him when he inevitably horribly falls or something?
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't worry, I got this!
I'll have the medic stand by.
Shit, what was all my bonuses? +30, +20, +10, -10, +50, that's 91. So that's 8 degrees of success.
Alright. This won't matter for the sake of the battleship, but roll damage. Because
this is my fuck all gun. It's in my medium range. Excuse me, 10 degrees of success because hecking, I succeeded on hitting it. So 1d10 plus 8 AP 8. I don't even think that matters. Whatever.
No, your AP really doesn't apply. It's got a lot of armor. You're not trying to damage the components necessarily. You're trying to like hit the turrets and gum them up and possibly kill gunners.
Mm-hmm.
So
I rolled an 8, so
8?
16.
Okay,
16 damage.
and then blast. So and you're blast 12 right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's 12 meters of radius. That's a lot of blast.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to say you still belted out the orders for the rest of your unit to fire too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's roll for them. Let's see how good they are at shooting.
If the ship had just shown up and, picked up people and left, I've been like, all right, get out of here. No, they started to start shooting. I'm like, excuse me.
Okay.
I will not let that stand.
All right, they actually hit. All right, so boom, and just basically little bolts of light fly down, and you start hearing pop, 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 pops. You hit a lovely curtained gun turret pretty good. You rolled a lot of success. So, like, bang, bang, lots of bangs. You can't really hear or see if any gun crewmen are disrupted by this, but at the very least, you're making it very loud and very bright, and probably very shrapnel-y in there.
Mm-hmm.
Their next, clusters of barrages goes way off target. Now, unfortunately, that does mean that some of them hit rando inland, but obviously you realize, well, that's not really their fault. Their gunners are really shitty right now. Most of them fall into the ocean. Your coastal... Let's see how the coastal guns go. Are they doing okay? 46 is kind of average-ish. They were also trying to hit a big target, I guess. So, your coastal defenses aren't hitting for effect, but they're managed to score, hits in the belt armor and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This shootout probably... it goes on longer than a regular combat, because the size is involved, but this shootout probably only goes on for maybe, 5 minutes before, you no longer see the flare from the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
They probably try and throw a couple of anti-air flak shells up at you. Not like tiny machine gun flak, but real 30 millimeter. But you guys are at a decent height. I assume you swap in a core so you stop falling.
Yeah,
because you don't want to get up close and personal with this thing. But you do. They put a couple of half-assed shots up at you, but they're not really focused on that. They're obviously focused on a big barrage. And basically they immediately start, full steam and start positioning off the target. You get a call from radio recovery as they're still shooting as they retreat, but obviously it's much more hey, stop shooting at us. Kind of, trying to make sure that nobody gets a really good shot in on them as they escape. Recovery basically radios up to you and is okay, all the supplies are pretty, the crowd for relief supplies has dispersed, so...
Yeah, I bet.
All of the priority supplies are basically unloaded. What do you want us to do down here, Chief?
Let's start damage control.
Alright. So you're not gonna... Well, actually, there was a plan for them to call on you to be okay, it's an enemy offensive, you gotta pull out, but you didn't manage to distract them long enough, they decided to bugger off on their own. So, Control probably calls you up to be okay, you guys should probably take your supplies and leave, but obviously it's not necessarily an engagement priority now, but if you want to do a little bit of, BDA and look over things, you can.
Yeah.
You regroup. The first destroyer escorts, they're going to be in dock for a while. They took some pretty big hits while they weren't prepared.
Does the shell... Did they actually sink one of the destroyers?
No, but they damaged the conning tower and the bridge area, so
okay.
They're going to be locked in port for probably a couple of weeks while they repair. There were unfortunately some casualties, but mostly it was a disable. They didn't strike below the waterline.
Okay, cool.
The second destroyer, they're a little annoyed that they barely just managed to get under steam and get ready to fight back when the enemy buggered off. But at the same time, they weren't really prepared to fight a battlecruiser, so it's all right.
Underwater battlecruiser, what? Or was it cloaked or something? I don't fucking know.
No, they were mostly just hiding in the storm, and like I said, those ships are pretty fast for their size. So while it was dark and everybody was looking at the sky, they basically just under no lights, It was a little risky of them, but they basically just thundered up to you at full steam, did a drive-by, and drove off. It was if you were trying to teach at a naval academy, somebody would tell them that they were fucking crazy. Basically drive through a storm at speed with minimal running lights. But they did it, and it's like I said, once the actual fighting stopped, that's why it was pretty easy for you guys to actually spot it with your awareness. You're oh hey, now that we're looking at the ocean, there's a giant fucking ship out there. But yeah, some of your coastal guns have cosmetic damage, they've got some craters of the armor plating, but nothing structural or catastrophic.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably some people who have some holes in their roofs where some shells from the aerial battle, fell, but no, there don't appear to be any reported injuries from that.
Okay, good.
You probably tell them, build the fucking consulate. It's not my problem. And, you're basically able to power away. Get the train loaded up with supplies. Adrenaline starts to run off. Somebody should probably make a medication test for Mr. Bleedman. Actually, wait, no.
Yeah.
Don't you have a battlefield bandage? That's right.
Battle dress. Yeah.
Battle dress. Just slap that on there.
Stop the bleeding myself. I just needed a moment when we're not in fucking...
Alright. Are you going to use your battle dress? Just slap that on there.
Yes, I'm going to use my battle dress.
You tuck it in under your armor.
I'm going to get down. I got to unarmor.
Squeak it in there and be shit, my blood's everywhere. I got to wash this down.
Yep. Gotta get this back to the fucking shop now.
You do have a souvenir. You have most of the slug that slapped into your armor now.
Did it, like, stay in shape?
No, it deformed, but it's like, you know, it was like getting punched. Because you took wounds and bleed from it. But yeah, there's a big slap right up there where it globbed against your armor. There's also now a not tiny hole in your shield that you will probably need to get patched.
I said, we got I know I wrote it in our base. Hang on, what the fuck is it? Where is it?
You probably, while you're doing damage control, you'll probably have your guys basically regroup, and recovery has to see to a couple of your guys who are grazed by bullets. Mm-hmm. You know.
Did I actually lose anybody?
No. Because of your counter orders and stuff, and I actually did some rolls. Your guys did okay. They were not, like I said, completely bushwhacked. Some of them have like knife scars now.
Nice.
As apparently some of these ladies were crazy enough to like jump out of low-hanging clouds and try to attack them with kukris or something. As far as you can tell, the Flying Foxes are basically lunatics. They are armed with heavy weapons. You talk to your guys. No one mage woman was carrying the same gun. They are, in fact, wearing hoods with little animal ears on them. And, like, some of your guys are a little surprised they're alive, but because you told them to group up, they managed to actually prevent them from just, you know, like I said, bushwhacking them.
I want to come up with some cool formations that give them bonuses and shit. Fuck. I'm jealous.
Yeah, that was her special boss power. I was how do I make it so you don't just shoot everybody and they die right away? And as much as I could be proud of myself for giving characters lots of special effects, it was mostly the terrain that fucked you.
Yeah. I'm gonna write 301 Flying Fox.
But yeah, so basically your guys are a little rattled. They're a little beat up. You know, they've got some bruised, some cracked bones. A couple of them have like some glancing gunshots where they got a little too close for comfort. But nobody was able to basically be encircled or ambushed. Nobody died. You got another couple of recovery injuries.
Well, I guess we can. Well, considering that they're like specifically an anti-air mage unit, right?
Yeah. In modern terms, these guys are basically like an interceptor hunter-killer. Like, they fly up to engage enemy air units and do this to you. Catch you off guard. By the way, as the enemy mages retreat, the rain starts to die down. It's now just overcast and a little windy. Are you regrouping like on the dock side? Or do you want to regroup inland?
Well, we'll stay dock. We'll regroup dockside. Just
okay. It's quite wet and salty down here. Like, it takes a little while for the waves to die down. Yeah. It looks like maybe a couple of your recovery guys got hit by some storm swell and went in the drink for a second, but so they're like soaking wet, and now that it's after dark, like they probably have to like throw thermal blankets on and stuff. But
we'll dress down when we get on the way back. Yeah. So
like I said, the end result is your unit's a little shaken, a little bruised, but nobody's dead.
I said, like I was trying to say, considering we fucking just went against someone who's highly specialized in killing our types, I'm gonna call that kind of a win.
Yeah.
No. You could probably call it a win-win or a lose-lose. Like, I mean, technically, you guys won. You guys got your objective. They didn't get to destroy the supplies, but technically, the enemy mages did penetrate your airspace and managed to keep you busy long enough for their ship to arrive. At which point, they fucked off from the airspace, and you were able to counteroffensive. So they, the Commonwealth did damage you. Like I said, you know, that destroyer is going to be in dry dock here for weeks. Your merchant marine captain on the supply ship's not really happy about the idea that now that his ship's empty, he's supposed to sail back out there. You know, he's probably going to linger in port until maybe some of those light cruisers arrive so he can get an escort out of here. But yeah. Oh, Ulrich has really good eyes. I'll say that you saw the name of the ship in the darkness was the Victoria. The Victory.
Okay.
Now I want a cool fucking ship to fly off of. What the fuck? How dare you have cool shit? I shake my fist at the sea.
You get splashed with salt water.
Blah! Alright, well. I got no kills and got damaged?
Yep.
Jesus. Well, I think that went about as well as I could have expected on my end. Yeah, let's basically break down. You guys jump on the, supplies are unloaded, you guys jump on the train. You know, your patrol's over. You pack up all your shit, you climb on the train. Everybody de-asses, basically. And you ride back home.
Oh, the Major's gonna love this?
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun after-action report. Do you want to go talk to her right? You know she stays up late. You want to go talk to her right now, after a couple hours of train ride, half soaked from salt water, uniform still bloody, and be like,
Nah, I don't want to interrupt her reading.
all right, you don't want to be like, so Major, I'm back from my beach trip. Let me tell you, the Commonwealth brought me some souvenirs. Yeah, okay, that'll be a fun morning report.
Yeah.
Yep.
You probably don't even have to, because what's your toughness?
Me?
Your toughness is like 3, right?
3. Yeah, like honestly, like if I just like get a good night's rest, I think like that doubles it. No, I get my full.
Yeah, you get your full toughness. So you just need to maybe you sleep in a little late, but you get some good food back at base. You know, you get make sure your bandages are clean, and you'll be over it mostly.
Yeah, I'm gonna let this wound remind me for a bit. I'm gonna be angry.
You know, drink plenty of juice so you get your blood back.
How does blood recover? Because I'm down to 80 because
it's 10 per day, or if you need it really badly, you can get a transfusion and be topped off in a couple hours.
I'll just be lightheaded for a little bit.
Yeah, not a lot, like because you definitely weren't approaching the point of unconsciousness. Yeah. That's at like 50 is when you make rolls to see if you pass out, and then at 33 you roll to see if you just die, and then at 0 you straight up die because all the blood has left your body. That's like okay, that's like you nicked. Either you were bleeding a long time or you nicked an artery and basically, all your blood just fell out. Yeah, 0 blood count is the hard limit for, there's not enough blood in your body to keep you alive. Like I said, 33 is you're probably going to go into shock and die. So you're still many, many points away from even like passing out from blood loss. You're just probably a little bit pale. Mm-hmm. And you feel a little weak, but that could also just be the fact that your adrenaline crash is happening. Heck, you can even get started on your sleep on the train ride. Anyway, the episode's gone on pretty long. This probably won't be able to upload it clean to Patreon.
Yep.
Womp womp.
There's some silences in there, but
yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it shrinks down.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm gonna give everybody 500 XP because that was a fairly tough fight, and it was supposed to be.
Okay, I'm getting Titan's Fist.
And game design wise, I learned a lot of things. I'm not sure if I want to write those down in like GM advice or something, but I definitely have to keep that in mind about air engagements. Yeah. I finally got to do my cool Tanya battle, but well, technically, I think Wolfgang did the Tanya thing where you just ran straight at the enemy like a crazy person, but yeah, your enemy wasn't scrubs.
Yep, there is that. Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, the Flight Lieutenant was built specifically to counteract Wolfgang, since she will probably be back. I will not list all of her abilities, but she has, like, not quite a full-blown player character build, because I don't think her skills are quite that diversified, but, like, she has, like, an origin and a nationality bonus, and has, career bonuses, advanced career bonuses, special unit bonuses, and then her own unique abilities. She was actually carrying a unique artifact, which she didn't even get to. And she has, like, runes and shit in her armor. Both of them were wearing masterwork armor. Like, they have a decent... Not as many spells as you, but they have a decent array of spells. Like, this was full-blown, I'm not fucking around.
I need to go faster.
Okay, now Titan's Throw is now marked down. Now, all I need is, Earth, Coffin, and Gravitic. Well, then I'll have everything Earth.
And that'll actually give you a title.
Mm-hmm.
I think it does.
Yeah, no, it does. If you get every spell in an elemental affinity, you get a title.
And then I think halves the penalties.
Yeah, so you can
for rushing and whatnot, and whatever else.
Yeah, it's just halves all your penalties.
Yeah,
you're really good at Earth. Also, by the way, like if you're wondering, God, gee willikers, these guys seem really good at doing stuff we don't do. You don't need to roll. You can infer that this is definitely what I alluded to, the fact that the enemy knows your name, the enemy knows your tactics. They're no longer gonna play by your safe zone, basically.
Yes.
Like,
we're our safe zone.
If the enemy is going to make further engagements on their terms with you, they're going to be prepared for you. So I don't know what you want to do character-wise to do that, but you got 500 XP to get started on it. Is there any other, questions or comments you guys have on Mike?
No. Just
Yeah, I think
I'm thinking like
we hashed out most of the like game design aspects in game.
Yeah.
Because I'm very much like this did not turn out to be quite as cool as I wanted it to be.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess on one end it's just like not being close enough to Cloud Course. It can't just be that whole peekaboo hide and seek sort of thing.
I think I'm gonna have to make my companion a sniper.
Well, you've been talking about that a lot. Getting her
Yeah,
a
I know,
good gun.
but it's like I didn't want to put too many hats on her, you know? But like if nothing else, I need like someone to maybe if I give her a sniper rifle, yeah, she won't be able to stay with me, but she can just literally hang back and shoot people who are trying to shoot me as I move to engage, or shoot people who I am going to engage.
Now I have 200 XP left.
Yeah, and I will actually say I didn't actually get to some of the stuff I had written for the possible event because it got a little bogged down in time. Like there was definitely, if it came up, was going to be a thing where like control, like when the ship showed up, control was supposed to be like would have been like okay, well that's definitely too big a force. You guys need to like pull back yourselves and get the stuff out.
Yeah, for me, I guess the highlights of that combat was the freaking commander of their forces using that anti-tank rifle, and then B, the double elephant rifles.
I put some work into these guys, and yeah, the sergeant she has with her is a big girl. Shooting big guns is her move. And maybe I should have been more clear that these guys are like, they're fully fleshed out NPCs. They have luck scores. They have higher levels of wounds. They have quirks. So
yeah, no.
Would you say these were like, in terms if you were trying to translate them to I guess like Star Wars, would these like be like Nemesis level?
Oh yeah, definitely. These are probably the equivalent of like gold level. They have multiple thousands of XP worth of stuff put in them.
Okay.
They have some skills at plus 10s. They've got like both of them are shooting at you, by the way, with warfare range to 50.
Oh god.
Yeah, they had like 50-50 shots, all things considered. But that's because I kind of wanted to shoot you a little bit, and I did. I hit you once. Would have hit you a couple of times. Though I will say, what is your actual wound total? Wolfgang?
Me?
Yeah,
18.
Okay, that's not as bad. You 3. Because she rolled pretty high with her first shot, so you could have taken a couple more in there.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So, quickest way for her to be good sniper is take hecking. I just had it. Where to go? Cross training, and I can get the stat bonuses. I won't get the skills or the ability, but honestly, I probably don't really need them.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the recording. So I'll really quick for the YouTube audience say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stuff because I want to cut the recording and squish it down. But I don't want to interrupt when you're talking. So, bye everybody on the internet.
Bye.